All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. Yes, 5 episodes that dropped on Netflix last Friday, and it caused up a lot of a shitstorm stir here. Joining me today is Joe and Shaggy. How are you gentlemen doing?
Very well.
I think
I'm fair to middling.
I think the last time I had you guys on was for the Halloween episode. I think all three of us were talking about that, which, new movie's about to drop soon, and I'm kind of sort of interested in that. So.
Oh man, I don't give a fuck about that movie.
I know he doesn't. I'm looking forward to it, but I thought we was on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we were on Mortal Kombat.
Was he on Justice League? Because that's the last.
I think Jag was on it for a hot second.
I wasn't on Justice League. Yeah,
No. Mortal Kombat. He was on. But yeah, He-Man, New Masters of the Universe dropped. The big show that's picking up after the 80s TV series, and I didn't know how to make heads or tails of it because Kevin Smith is on any sort of project. It gets people talking of how great it's going to be and stuff. And after the 5 episodes, and the way episode 5 ended, I was like, well, shit, like, damn. We're in suspense on till later this year when they drop it. The other half,
maybe this year, hopefully.
Yeah, I would
like November.
Love for this year. Yeah, maybe something like in the fall or hell, even the Christmas holiday break. I'll take that, but I don't know if we're getting it this year.
I think what he said on his podcast was that Netflix and Mattel have this like grand plan for Masters of the Universe, and it don't like I'm paraphrasing here, but like. The plan is to have He-Man released at least once every year. So, for
like
instance,
Voltron?
Yeah, but like they're doing that CGI kid-friendly show, which Kevin Smith confirmed drops after Revelation. How far after, I have no idea. But
yeah.
So he said that like this is 2021. Hopefully, it would be by the end of this year. The CG series would be sometime, maybe spring of next year. And then if Revelation gets a second series, it would be 2023.
I can see them doing a second series.
So yeah, hold on. So they're kind of doing like what NetherRealm Studios does with like Injustice and Mortal Kombat. They drop Mortal Kombat 1 year, and then the following year they drop in Injustice, and then go back and forth between the two. So no, I definitely that's actually not a bad idea though. I mean, I would like it, but I also like the disparity between the two. Like, give it time to breathe.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I gotta start with Shag. I won't bury the lead here. Were you at all shocked that they ended it with Skeletor like, oh, I got the sword now, and now I got the shit? I know you were laughing your ass off at that shit.
Boy. Okay. So me and Joe were texting the entire time it dropped. And I obviously had to get caught up late because of work. But he said you were going to. His text to me was like, you were going to shit kittens at the end of episode 5, and I'm like, that's a weird ass comment, but all right, cool. And I'm just like going, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I fully thought it was going another way, only for him to get fucking like stabbed. And I know he's not dead, but the visual just fucking I was cackling. I told Joe, I said, this is the hardest I laughed since I seen fucking Black Panther turned into dust. Like I was just like, holy shit, this is like, I was like, but I wasn't expecting it at all. Like I knew that shit was gonna happen when I was in the movie theaters watching Infinity War, but I didn't know anything about that. I thought like what I also was telling Joe was I had thought it was just one big lie to bring Skeletor back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect him to be like what ended up happening, which I know we'll touch upon, but like I was fully not expecting that. And I was like, holy shit. And I just started fucking cackling. But yeah, it's exactly the way you thought it went. I was like, this is crazy. This is amazing. I was like, must be my birthday.
I'm guessing the same way, Joe, for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's when they say that it's going to continue from the 80s show, my first thought was like, okay, it's just going to be kind of episodic. you know, He-Man shows up, fights Skeletor, blah blah blah, and what I was pleasantly surprised by was that to me this is just the Infinity Saga. It's the exact same thing. You have the Infinity War and Endgame are one
Yeah.
big ass story
Mm-hmm.
broken into two pieces with the time jump and everything.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing. I mean, this was written as one long story broken into two pieces. And even Kevin Smith said, I didn't know they were going to break it into two parts.
Mm-hmm.
So it was written all at once. And so in the beginning, you know, the first episode, I think we can all agree, kind of played out like an episode of the 80s show, except for the ending when fucking He-Man stabs him. Like,
I wasn't expecting that. I was like, what?
Neither was I. When he stabbed him, I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? And you know, Skeletor's coughing. At first, I'm like, okay, it's a magic trick or something. But when he's coughing and you see the blood, I'm like, shit, he fucking stabbed him,
Dude.
Like, I didn't expect that. But what's funny is when they're fighting. Did you guys catch the nod to the '80s movie when he said, "Let this be our final battle"? That was straight out of fucking front. Yeah.
Jose pointed that out to me.
Yeah,
Jose pointed that out to me when we covered the show, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right."
Yeah,
the like line.
And the like when they're fighting and his staff turns into that dagger at the end, and they zoom in on it. I thought, all right, that's going to pop up again, but I didn't expect what we got. But like as a whole, it was way different than I thought, but different in a good way. Because if it had just been the 80s version with better effects or whatever, like I would have enjoyed it, and I'm happy it's there. But this basically to me is like, hey, the kids that grew up with it are probably in their 40s now, which we are.
Yeah.
They can handle a little bit more violence or higher stakes, and I actually appreciated that. But I was shocked when they killed him in the beginning, because I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And then at the end, see, I thought it was going to end the first half of the first five were going to be the Subternia.
Yeah.
And the last half of the five would be the Preternia. But when they kind of got all that through by the fifth episode, and then Adam comes back, I'm like, well, fuck, man. Like, now what's going to happen? I didn't see him getting stabbed, but it's payback, because he stabbed him in the first, he stabs him in the last. And I'm like, shit, we know he's not dead. But
it's like the Empire Strikes Back. It's like they gotta get out of this somehow,
I think I can kind of see where they're heading based on what happened, but I was pretty surprised.
Yeah. I guess another big point of contention is King Grayskull is black. Didn't see that coming.
I don't give a shit. Like,
I don't care either.
Yeah, I'm definitely with Joe and you. I really didn't. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, when I saw the voice cast, I was like, oh, okay, that's dope. And it was like, okay, I really don't give a shit.
Dude,
Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah, Dennis Haysbert has a fucking phenomenal voice. So you get him in anything, and it's
like Keith David. They could have. You know what? It felt like if they couldn't get Keith David, it's like, well, Dennis Haysbert is like the best choice to get if you can't get Keith David.
He played the president in 24.
Yeah,
he was president. I want him to be fucking president for real. But here's the thing that I've noticed about the King Grayskull thing is that King Grayskull never showed up until the 2002 version, right? He was in one episode, and in that version, he was an ancestor. So it kind of made sense that he looked like He-Man. He was just bigger. He was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And his power got transferred to the sword, yada, yada, yada. This is rewriting the canon, because Mike Young wasn't canon. This is directly off of the 80s show. This is Mattel saying this is canon. And they're saying he's not an ancestor. He's linked in the sense of he was the first champion, hence the name Grayskull, Castle, and invoking the power of him.
Mm-hmm.
But he could be fucking Chinese. It doesn't matter, because you're not invoking the race, you're invoking the power.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So like him being black, I was like, and honestly, like in the 2002 series, he was literally a carbon copy of He-Man. He was just bigger. It was a white dude. It was blonde hair, blue eyes. This and this. Now you have a person of color in a prominent role, in a prominent like fandom, and
Yeah.
people are complaining. It's like you can't, it just, to me, it proves you can't fucking do anything right.
Yeah, I mean, because that was the
No.
thing that, like, because my initial, because for me, you know, just the visual of King Skull, Great Skull as a black person, I was like, oh shit, this is dope. But past that, though, it's like you're right in the aspect is like, no, he's just one of the many champions that they have and stuff. I mean, fuck, they put Wonder Bread in this fucking show.
Well, yeah, Wondar.
Wondar, my
Wondar.
bad. Sorry, why I said Wonder Bread.
Well,
Wondar.
because he came with a loaf of Wonder Bread. The toy.
Yeah, my bad.
No, I mean, they got Wondar, they got Vicor. The Vicor is the original design of He-Man. That's what He-Man was supposed to look like back when he was more Conan-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And they got fucking Vicor. They got Wondar. They got fucking Hero. I mean, Jesus Christ! Like,
that's like deep cut.
Hero was like I think he was like the sorcerer or the mage to Grayskull.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I'm curious, like, did they both die at the same time? Yada, yada, yada. I mean, you had all these, like, deep cuts of, like, these are the champions. And it was very much like Valhalla or whatever, where they were going on this eternal hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some deep fucking cuts in there.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, even down to, okay, so I guess starting with like Triclops, for instance, I was not expecting him to be the leader of this techno cult.
I like that.
Dude, I told Joe, and I'm gonna be bringing up me and Joe's fucking text like during that the entire time, because when stuff was popping, I'm like instantly texting him because I know he finished it, and I'm like, bruh, I didn't know that was fucking, like, this dude sounds like Henry Rollins. And I was like, that's because he is fucking Henry Rollins. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, yo, this is fucking amazing. And like, I didn't fucking expect he was gonna be like the cult leader or anything. I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna go ahead and mention this now.
Yeah.
Everyone's shitting on this. Everyone's shitting on this show for their own fucking reasons, but none of them brought up the one thing that bothered me and possibly Joe the most. It was obviously there was a time skip, but they didn't say how long ago was the time skip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so how
was it 6 months later? Was it 1 month later? 2 years later?
Yeah, like I'm thinking like, yo, if it's a year later, I'm like, there's no fucking way Triclops them fucking built a cult in Snake Mountain and got all that shit changed. I refuse. Like, I need to know. I kind of want to know.
That's a quick turnaround, right? That is a quick turnaround. It's like, and Skeletor's dead, and go ahead and open up the floodgates.
Bro, so you mean to tell me once Skeletor dies, everybody who was incompetent fucking forms a brain? I fucking doubt that entirely. Like, I know they go on with their lives, but these motherfuckers were dumb. I'm gonna just be real. Like, I'm just saying, fucking stupid. So it's just to the point to where I'm like, okay, so Triclops is a cult leader now. I was like, I guess he's got the Church of Techno, and like I said, I actually fucked with it. I liked it, but it was kind of like I got more questions.
Like, I think if they did say like, if they said like, oh, 4 or 5 years later, it's like, all right, that makes sense that he can do something like that. But like the passage of time is kind of like, so is this like a 1 month later, 2 months later with years? I
interpret it as 3 to 5. That's just I didn't hear anything. I haven't read anything. That's just kind of my speculation, because Teela she's still mad, but it's not fresh enough for her to be as mad. You know what I mean? Like when it first happened, I mean, she was angry, she was blaming everybody, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So to me, and maybe I'm just reading into it, like enough time had passed where she was able to she's still angry about it because it's unresolved, but like it wasn't like the center of her life, which I had imagined, a week after it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And I always pictured like Skeletor's minions like the mafia, right? You have the Don, and everybody works under the Don or the boss, but it doesn't mean they're incompetent, and constantly they're trying to usurp him, but they're trying to do it in a way to where he doesn't find out, so that he doesn't kill them. So I always like the Triclops and like Trapjaw and all these other ones, Evelyn especially, as like not incompetent, but like, man, I'm working behind the scenes, and the
Yeah.
second you die or I can usurp you, you're fucking out.
I mean, I like the aspect of the fact that they call back to the 80s series where it's like, yeah, we kept following Skeletor and he constantly failed. Like, it's time for new leadership here, all right? This is getting kind of ridiculous.
So, and the only reason why I say, and I fuck with Joe with that, with his call out and his perception on that. The only one I would give now, when I said his cohorts, I did not mean like Evelyn, because we all knew she fucking was like, to me growing up, even watching the shows, like she had fucking brains. But like the rest of the motherfuckers are like, nah, bro, like But now, you know, they're hip to kind of going on. But that also helps me like look at it like, okay, so Triclops actually fucking got pulled in, and then he started fucking become more of like that cult leader because of something he believes in, because he believed in Skeletor.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's gone. He had to find something else to believe in, and now he's looking at like the main dude running around, and then you still got dudes like Trapjaw who's like fucking following him around and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
Basically following whoever has like the
they
power.
Are followers. Exactly.
Yep.
These are not leaders. They are followers. Fucking Evelyn can be a leader. She just chooses not to be because she's just playing her time. Just like what Joe was saying. He's like, as soon as that shit comes up, I'm gonna go run my own shit. But like motherfucker like Beastman, who's my personal favorite, like Beastman, Triclops, like Trapjaw, all of the other ones, fucking legit. Like, hey, like we're followers. Now that we don't have anything to follow, what the fuck are we gonna do with our life? And then one person found it. My whole thing is, I would like to fucking know the story behind that. Like, what happened there?
Yeah, I need more Lena Headey as Evelyn.
Oh, she's fucking.
She's
dude,
good.
that's who you would cast in a live action version.
Oh, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that she literally just carried over from Game of Thrones and was like, yeah, so I just the same character from Game of Thrones, right? All right, cool.
God, and they made fucking Evelyn hot as shit too, man. When she takes
she took the helmet off? It's a wrap.
I was like, God damn, with the long white hair.
I don't know if she's gonna put it back over Skeletor back, but I would rather she keep it off.
Fucking Jose pointed that shit out to me and said, man, she's like, hey man, is she? I said, would I? Hell yeah. What do you mean? like, bitch, excuse me, have you not seen that? Like, nah, man. But like it was like, oh damn, okay. Yes. Whatever you say, Evelyn.
The
Whatever
answer
you
is
say.
100% yes, I would.
1,000% yes. But man, like she was a dope ass. She's a dope, one of my favorite voice actors that were in that show. And then Kevin Michael Richardson voices in Beastman is something that I never would have fucking thought of until I fucking received it.
This is the second Hasbro show that he's on. There's Thundercats and now this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean Panthro and then boom, Beastman.
Panthro.
It's like,
yeah.
I mean, this guy's
all right,
I mean, and then now they announced they're doing Silverhawks. So I'm like, so Kevin, you gonna do Silverhawks? I mean,
wait, they're doing a Silverhawk show?
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
Netflix?
I don't know Netflix, but it's another studio that's doing Silverhawks.
Bring them all fucking back.
They teased it in the Thundercats remake, so I'm guessing they're like, fuck it, just go on ahead and just do Silverhawks. Might as well.
They shouldn't have canceled that fucking reboot from like 10 years ago.
They shouldn't, man. I don't know why. Do we know
Cartoon
why?
Cartoon Network leadership. Long story short, it was around the same time of Young Justice. Their leadership was like, well, it's not selling toys, so ergo nix it. You know,
that was a great show.
That was really good. Like it got. I got into it like late than I wanted to, but yeah,
it had at least 2 more seasons in it before I would have been like, all right, end it. You know, at the very least.
Yeah.
Well, the Mike
3
Young
seasons.
He-Man,
Yeah, 3.
that got 3 seasons, then it got canceled. Like
I thought it got 2, and then the comic continued it like through the 3rd season.
I got 3.
It got 3, and the 3rd was the Snake Men, but they were hinting in the 3rd of the Horde. So like they had brought in Hordak in the King Grayskull episode and showed how like he banished Hordak to like Despondos and shit like that. And they were hinting heavily at the Horde being the next, big bad.
Mhm.
and then it got canceled, and then they kind of spun off into those comics from like 2014. Which
Yeah, I read those.
here's the ironic thing about this whole thing is like those comics are like pretty universally praised,
Mhm.
and those are completely fucking different than anything. Like Orko turns on the Masters and becomes the ultimate villain.
Sheesh.
And like no one
Mhm.
complained about that, and people were like, "It's fucking great." I'm like, so
Metal, yay!
he can become the big bad that controls Skeletor, and that's okay. And you can have He-Man forget who he is and live in the fucking woods, and that's okay. But if you like, I read this thing on somebody messaged it on Facebook, but they messaged it to me and they were like watching this Facebook person like fucking flip out, like, oh, I guess you can't have strong male heroes anymore because everything has to be. And I'm like, the dude sacrificed his life to save the universe. What's more fucking like? Who does that sound like? I don't know. Jesus Christ. I mean,
Yeah, basically.
Superman, Tony Stark. Like he performs the ultimate heroic act to save everybody and dies, and somehow he's not. To me it's like the Justice League movie. It's like they're trying to live up to Superman.
Yeah, the
And
ideal.
yeah, and this is the same thing. It's like, what would
Yeah.
He-Man do? Or it's dude, the hypocrisy and the sheer just fucking
I mean,
baby crying tantrum bullshit is like, I don't think I've ever seen it this bad, honestly.
because it's like I can understand, like, okay, because that's a good segue. So Tila, this is the big, like, everybody. This has been the main thing. Like everything else about the show, people didn't have a problem with and stuff, but this was the main point of attention. Tila, the biggest thing that everybody had an issue with was her freaking out very emotionally of the double whammy of He-Man, a person that she's had a budding friendship with over the years and all that stuff, and then Prince Adam, somebody that she cares about, and then all that coming to a head of finding out that, oh, Prince Adam's He-Man, and then bam, He-Man dies, and it's like, well, what the fuck, And everybody's like, well, why would she yell at the king and queen, and they just lost a son? I'm like, everybody's emotions was at a pretty high point of like shell shock, so I kind of expected her to freak out the way she did. Like, I don't get the problem here. Like, this is weird.
I'm gonna let Joe go first on this one because I think this is another one we fucking discussed. Because I think he had a different take than I did. Joe, so go ahead, man.
When I read comments like that, I kind of wonder if those people have ever experienced like a loss, because there's no guidebook, rule book, set of rules, whatever, how to react to loss. You know what I mean? And especially the loss of somebody that you thought you knew, but perhaps was hiding a secret. I mean, you hear about it all the time of like, for instance, I was watching this thing on the BTK killer. He was a serial killer that was active for like 30 years, right? And when they caught him, his daughter was like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? And like she was
like
angry.
Shell shock of like, huh?
Yeah, she's like, of course I was angry because he's over here, taking me to the beach or whatever, and he runs off and he kills somebody, and it's like the shock of like, I thought I knew you, but I didn't know you, or even just the shock of losing somebody. Like I listen, man, like, I've lost somebody very dearly to me, and like, you don't just go, oh, okay, well now I'm sad. It's, you don't accept it, and I got fucking angry, and you're angry because you feel like, how could this person leave me?
Mm-hmm.
And for someone like her, perhaps it was, how could this person leave me? But how could this person lie to me too? And I interpret it as a very realistic way. Listen, man, like, after I lost my mom, we all argued and we all fought. It's very similar to how it was depicted in the show. Like, you just lash out. You look at whoever's there and you fucking lash out. And so her getting angry and then saying, like, you lied to him too, people are like, you're not showing compassion. Like, motherfucker, you don't have the mental fortitude or capacity to process every feeling that you feel. You just can't. So you go with whatever's natural, and oftentimes it's anger. It's anger, it's rage, because the person is gone, and she watched him die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude. I mean, like, again, like I watched somebody die, and when it happens, you're in fucking shock. You're just like, that didn't happen. That did not happen.
Especially for her saying "fuck magic." People's like, "Why would she say that?" I'm like, I mean, look what she saw. Like, of course, I'll say "fuck magic" too. I'd be like, "What the hell, man?"
Because magic
Oh, yeah.
took her best friend,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it's like when I saw these reactions, it's like, I don't want to be insensitive and be like, "Clear, you've never lost it," because I don't know if they have or not. But like,
Yeah.
you're just like, have you never like experienced that? Because that's actually not too far off to how a lot of people feel loss. It's the same thing. Work makes that comment in the third episode. He's like, "I've forgotten more than I remember," and people are like, "Oh, you're simple." You know that memory loss is a symptom of a deep depression, and like that's also something I've experienced and I've dealt with and I continue to deal with. And like, I forget a lot of shit. And when he said that, it resonated with me because Orko is fucking depressed. And I'm like, this is a very real world approach to a very goofy character that nobody really cared about, 40 years ago. And Tila and Orko and even Mossman. I mean, the speech that he gave about, leaving Preternia, I thought the writing, especially, listen, man, like Tila got a little bit whiny at times, and I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up now. But like, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Where initially,
I mean, you ain't wrong, because it was like, put it this way, I don't get bothered by the whining because I'm like, well, I expect that out of a character. Whatever, fine, fuck it. It is what it is and stuff. But like, I can understand that aspect. It's like, all right, it is a little kind of like long in the tooth a little bit.
Well,
like,
can we just point out certain people love to point out hypocrisy, like Kevin Smith's a hypocrite, blah blah blah. Motherfucker, you're complaining about a character complaining.
I say this as somebody that loves. I say this as somebody that loves Iron Man 3. They did kind of sort of lie about the Mandarin shit, so it's like I can't really be mad at this. I can't, because people do that shit all the time to like get people to watch it. So,
but
it's
what
like,
did he lie about? That I genuinely don't know.
well, because they didn't. Well, put it this way. Shout out to my boy William. He said it best. If people paid attention to the title of the show,
it's
right?
called Master of the fucking Universe.
It's called Master of the Universe. He was like,
not
think
He-Man.
about it. Yeah, that's it. Think back to the 80s show. The 80s show was called He-Man and the Master Universe, which it's highly focused on He-Man and its supporting cast. This show is called Master Universe, which means that it's going to be focused a bit on the supporting cast, so people get to know them more so than He-Man. Because we know who He-Man is at this point. So it's like, well, there's no mystery per se with He-Man that we really gotta like put all the focus on that. But at the same time, this show showed like, yo, how much did He-Man impact everyone that we see in the show, and it makes sense.
Dude, they worked Clamp Champ into the first fucking episode.
dude.
Oh my god, man! I'm not even a huge He-Man fan. I'm appreciative of all the Easter eggs. I'm like, this is fucking great.
Spike War is one of the first characters you see with Clawful, and Clamp Champ I don't think was ever in any show before this. I take that back. I think he was in the Mike Young show, but let's exclude that. I'm talking about Filmation.
Yeah.
Like, he was in the comics, he was a toy. And in the first episode, you have Clamp Champ and Fisto running side by side. And I'm like, this right here tells you it's called Masters of the Universe, not fucking He-Man.
Somebody was paying attention. I was like, wow, that is like just obscure of obscure.
I love it.
That's like Deadpool.
Like,
that's like Bob from Agent of Hydra popping up in Deadpool in the movie and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, they brought that character into the movie.
And only like a handful of motherfuckers will get it. And like, it's the greatest thing. Like, pulling up the Easter eggs in the show was definitely fun as hell, because I had to go back and watch it because I missed so much. Because I was just like, I need to hurry up and watch it before somebody fucking says something stupid to me and I'm
spoils it and stuff.
But not necessarily spoilers, but it's something like I'm not gonna lie, like a friend of mine texted me and said, "Wow, I didn't think they would have the ball kill this character," and I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to you because I don't know who you're talking about, and I
I'm gonna
don't want
mute
to be
you
pissed.
until I'm done.
Like, I put my phone down. I was like, I'm about to watch these episodes. Y'all leave me the fuck alone. But it was so cool to see those fucking deep cut characters, and then find out who they were voiced by. If they even had, I did like Jason Mewes' fucking voice in Stankor was the funniest fucking thing I found out that day. I said, because Kevin Smith always gonna find something for his boys to do. I give him that. Like
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna put them on.
Like he only had like a lot, like 2 lines of dialogue, and that was it. And like, but he was like, Jason Mewes is in motherfucking Masters of the Universe, which is just that blew my mind. But like on the Tila subject, I'm right there with Joe on that point. Like, how do you know? But you're gonna be going through high emotions. My dad passed away. I definitely have. I still go through that shit. Like it sucks. I like it. It just. But like you're in the moment. You're not yourself. Even if you know it was coming, you're still not yourself. So you're gonna get heated. She had every right to be angry because motherfuckers had lied, and she was more like upset. She's like, "Yo, you knew." Talking about mom. And it's like,
that was something that nobody paid attention to. I'm like, yeah, he knew.
Like, well, see, the mom,
like, you knew and you didn't tell me.
The mom,
ahead,
I interpret as this. I don't think she was in on it. I interpret it more as like a mother knows everything. You know what I mean? Like mothers just have that instinct. Like, you know, in the original cartoon, it was just Man-at-Arms, Cringer, and Orko. And in my show, it was Orko because he followed them into Castle Grayskull, so he kind of found out by default. But those were the only ones that knew. But I do like how you heard Duncan, Man-at-Arms, say, but my king, you know, he ordered us to keep his secret. And I'm like, boom, right there.
True.
He ordered him. And they show you how loyal Duncan is to the throne. When, dude, Randor's a fucking asshole when he's like,
holy shit.
That's parental pride. I'm like, damn.
Dog, when he said that shit, I was like, damn, dog. I was like, man, he said that shit. I'm just like, I looked at the screen like, hey, bro, see, why you being wild disrespectful, dog? And like, if I'm fucking Adam, man, I'm looking at this motherfucker like, wow, Dad, that was really that was fucking mean. Like,
it was harsh, dude. Jesus.
Like maybe he was like, one day I'll feel that for my son. I was like, fucking hell, man, I'm right here.
And you could tell Adam had heard it before because he didn't even flinch. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I heard this. It's all good.
Yeah, he just rolled. He just fucking rolled his eyes. He was just like, all right, man, whatever, and just kind of kept it going. And I'm just like, bruh. And then like, but also like where you say a mother always knows, and like definitely that, because she's like, even when he's like leaving people in and he's like disappearing, she's like, be careful, Adam. Like knowing that he's gonna end up like going to do his He-Man shit. And then when he says, we've lost, and then they said we lost our champion, so we lost He-Man, and she fucking just starts bawling. And even King Rancor was like, why are you crying? It's just He-Man. She's like, no. And then like for him, like, and for Duncan to say, hey, he ordered us. The fact that the king did not even say, like, you supposed to tell me some shit. Like, had I would have not followed what your son said, you would have fucking bitched out for me that shit too. Like, which one is it? Is it Uchiwali and one mic? Like, what are we doing? You can't get mad at me for fucking following a goddamn Roman creed, bro. Like, are you fucking serious? Yes, I know it's your child, bro, but like, you ain't finna fucking yell at me for some shit. Because if I follow this shit and then like nothing happened, then the moment I tell you some shit, like, did he tell you not to tell us? Yeah, you can fucking chop my head off. What kind of shit is this?
Hey, Duncan took that shit on the chin and was like, well, as you wish, sir. I guess I'll be on my way.
He said, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm out.
Like, I mean, man, look, another character, Scareglow, a character that was just here's the funny part, right? A character that was just a toy, right? I thought for a second that was Mark Hamill doing double voicing until I was like, hold up, that don't sound like Mark Hamill. And I was like, that's Tony fucking Todd. God damn.
So I was watching the Kevin Smith has these like commentary
commentary?
tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like 30 minutes long each episode. He teams up with the writers, and he was talking to Tim Sheridan about the Scareglow thing, and he was like, "Man, the fun thing was, not the segue, but like they're getting their orders directly from Mattel, right? And Mattel owns the license. Mattel created.
Yep.
And then." So for Mattel to be like, oh yeah, you can do it. You can use Scareglow. It's like he never appeared. He's never appeared in any show. I don't even think he was in the Mike Young show.
Not even. First time ever.
And Kevin Smith said the first, because the thing with Scareglow is like he could be Skeletor, but like an alternate Skeletor. You don't really know.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So he said that when they were kind of kicking around, like, okay, he's basically like the devil, or he's Hades, or whatever. He's the ruler of Saturnia. He said the first thing that everybody said was, "Oh man, we got to get the fucking Candyman."
Oh, you serious?
Yeah,
so that was their first choice off rip.
He said that was like when they sat around in the writers' room and they were kind of pitching, like, okay, he's the ruler of Saturnia. He feeds off of fear. He kind of has this like, I'll help you if you feed me, kind of like Pennywise.
Yeah.
Like kind of a thing to him. He said that they all collectively kind of sat back and they were like, oh, we got to get Tony Todd. And I guess Tony Todd was like more than happy. And they were like, he was such a nice guy and he was so happy to do it. And if you watch I watched the Comic-Con panel with them, like the digital one.
Yeah.
Fucking Tony Todd, every time they ask him a question, he's like, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun doing it. He-Man was a little bit too young for me. I was already in my 30s, this and that. And he goes, but hey, don't forget to go out and watch Master of the Universe. Like every chance he get, that motherfucker was hawking that show. And he's like, go out and buy the toys and get them all. And, I got grandchildren that are playing with the toys. And I'm like, God damn, that motherfucking Candyman is now the voice of Scareglow. And this dude couldn't be happier to do it. It was perfect.
Dude, I loved him. Look. Whatever I feel the movies is one thing, but I loved him as Darkseid in the fucking DC movies because I was like, yo, this guy kills it as Darkseid. I love it.
He's got one of those voices.
So one of the things when I saw Scareglow on the screen for the first time, and they told me Tony Todd and Joe told me Tony Todd was the voice. When I first saw him, the first person I thought about that would fucking do the voice would be just because of the history of like voice acting and just doing creepy motherfuckers. Robert Englund.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Because he like just the way he presented himself, it thought of me for like how he did voice acting for like Scarecrow in Injustice. And I'm talking about like the demon version of fucking Scarecrow too. And then also just like his other voice acting, just having like just like a more sinister thing. But I'm glad it was Tony Todd. Yeah. Because it definitely has that shit on, like it definitely fit that type of character that he was like that was doing most. I got it. I was like, yo, that's fucking nuts. And I'm glad he's actually fucking enjoying shit like that to where he's like, yo, I got something for my grandkids. They don't know I'm always a scary fucking guy. Now I'm playing a scary guy in a cartoon. Isn't it great?
I could see old boy that did the Reanimator voicing Scareglow too.
Yeah.
I'll raise you, Robert Englund as Scareglow, and pose to you an alternative. If you could get Robert Englund, I would pose to you a King Hiss.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's got that kind of nuanced, like, at least the way that they've kind of portrayed him, like in the Mike Young show, is like he's kind of got that, like he giggles, he laughs, like he enjoys, especially like when he turns into a snake and he feeds, like he consumes you, consumes you slowly. I could see a Robert Englund getting real kind of animated with that, like just. Plus, I think of him as the Riddler and the Batman.
Thank you. I was trying so hard not to bring that up because I was just like, man, I know I'm gonna go there, but I was like, nah, man, let me go with the other shit. There's more like a little bit more sinister, but yeah, definitely Riddler and Batman. 100%.
He was the Vulture in Spectacular Spider-Man too.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
So take those two voices, throw in some Freddy Krueger, and I think you've got a King Hiss. Now, I don't know if they'll ever get there. I think they will. Eternian gods that they do, but think about this: you have Tony Todd, you have Dennis Haysbert. Man, if you could get Keith David, you'd have like the trifecta.
Listen, it's like, you can keep David in there. I don't know who he could be, but
I got one for you right now. Ready?
Figure it out.
Keith David is your Hordak.
Mm.
With that deep growl.
Okay.
Now, fuck the Hordak from She-Ra, because like I listen, man, that was, I want that nasty fucking techno vampire.
Mhm.
Like, oh, Skeletor's cute, but check this out. Like, there's a reason Skeletor has my face on his belt, kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah,
I
listen.
want,
Yeah,
I want that
sorry.
shit. No. That would be, you got Tony Todd as fucking Scareglow, Dennis Haysbert as Grayskull, and then Keith David as fucking Hordak. You just take all my money.
Yeah, I mean, so another theory people were thinking, they thought Teela was going to be She-Ra, and I'm like, I don't know. She's going to be the sorceress. They literally are showing that she's going to probably be the next in line to be the next sorceress.
That's
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, she's going to be the
That's
next.
the
That's why I was
fucking
like,
story, man.
I don't know what they go. It was like, because as soon as some people saw that and they saw, Adam get stabbed, it's like, oh, she's going to be She-Ra, and I was like, no, that wouldn't even make not a lick of sense.
She
for
was
her
his
to be-
sister.
Oh man, I mean, I know they said they weren't going to bring in She-Ra. Y'all see that actually happening down the line?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't say no. If they kept it going like as long as Voltron,
Yeah,
I could see them working something out. Because from what I understand, Universal takes the rights to Master of the Universe sometime in 2023.
yeah.
So I don't know how that would work in terms of TV rights, but like, I don't think She-Ra fits into. I mean, according to their lore, she already existed because she existed in the '80s show, and this is
Yeah.
a sequel. I don't know that we ever see her.
She's off on her own whimsical adventure.
Yeah,
I guess.
maybe they mention her, like, you have a twin, or what about your twin sister, or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't need to see her because didn't she have like fucking 5 seasons or some shit? Like,
Yeah, I think the Princess of Power had. I think it was like 5 seasons.
yeah, I mean, she had her run. I think they mentioned Eternia in one episode.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, okay. I tried to watch that show. Like, I think I got like 1 or 2 seasons into it, and then I'm like, you know what? It's just too.
it's all right, but
It's
I can see the people that like think that there's some issues, like legit issues, not the bullshit. Oh, it's women. No, it's like, oh man, it's not for me kind of thing. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Did they make her gay?
They posited she had like a kind of like not relationship, but kind of like a might as well say sort of a relationship with old girl.
Catra?
Yeah, Catra in a way, but not like really kind of thing. It was weird. But
Well, the thing that I keep seeing pop up of like, I still don't understand that he lied to us. Like, first of all, it's fucking it's. Have you never had an actor tell you that they weren't in something only to show up in something? Did you take that personally too?
no,
And like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't understand what he lied about. Did he ever say He-Man's in every single episode? Because I don't remember that.
Well, they asked him. I think somebody asked him a straight up question like, "Hey, is this show going to be centered on He-Man?" And he said yes. And then people watched the show and it was like, "It's not centered on He-Man. He fucking lied." That shit. And I was like, I mean, sure, if you want to get him on a technicality, but fuck, like, is it worth getting pissed off at it for?
But did
Like,
he lie?
Dude,
Because
only
we've only seen
fucking-
half the story.
Dude, it's only been 5 fucking episodes.
That's my thing, it's like-
dying tits.
That's
Like,
real. To be honest with you, that's if I had a legit gripe. That's my only gripe. I just wish Netflix would knock it off with this give a 5 episode thing because it's like that kind of that irked me with Voltron a little bit on
Yeah.
the later seasons. I was like, oh come on, guys, don't do this. Like
Dog,
I'm enjoying
I-
this.
I high key thought we were getting like at least 8 episodes. Like, remember, like
Yeah.
the only time, like, and then like I was like, okay, I'm like ready for like 8 episodes and some shit. Not 10, because this ain't Castlevania. But even Castlevania only had like 4 fucking episodes the first season.
Yeah, the first
Exactly.
season was like
So-
6 episodes actually.
Was it 6? I thought it was 4.
No, 5 episodes. My bad.
It was
five.
short as fuck. That's
Yeah, it
what
was. It was 5 episodes straight up. And even
It was
though
quick.
I was like,
I was
this
like
is
done.
yeah, because you got it. It was over real quick, and it was like, damn, it was 5 episodes. Like, god
Yeah,
damn,
fucking-
like.
Fucking Belmont met fucking Alucard, and then they fought, and then it was like, all right, shit's over, and just kind of walked and just like, yo, we're gonna go fight Dracula, fucking over. And I'm just like, I still should like. Part of me was like, watch it. I'm like, I shouldn't be upset that it was only 5 episodes with fucking
It's like,
He-Man
oh,
because you
duh.
kind of knew, but don't fucking do the fucking ending and not have me. I needed like 2 more fucking episodes at least, bro. Come on, man.
I take one more episode at least. Like, all right, cool, but it's like, fuck. It's like with Voltron when they ended one of the seasons with them in the alternate universe with Pip and them, and I was like, oh, don't do this. No, don't end it like this. And I was like, I gotta wait another year for this. I even asked him at
Like,
Comic-Con
God
about
damn
that,
it.
and I asked him at Comic-Con about that, and it's like, yeah, that's up to Netflix discretion. If it was up to us, we would have gave you like the full like season and stuff. So yeah, Netflix, you're gonna have to knock it off with that because that's
Well,
So
that's,
that
I mean,
shit-
like
Go ahead,
they got Transformers Kingdom coming out in like 2 days, right? And that's the
Yeah.
end of the Cybertron trilogy. And it's
Yeah.
fucking like, who hasn't? Dude, I've been saying for years I want to see Beast Wars, and that's exactly what this is. This is Beast Wars with a higher budget. You know it's going to be fucking 5 episodes.
Man,
dude.
man.
I still got to
So-
catch up on that, man. And like, but
it's pretty
it
quick.
just- oh God, it just like fucking. I should be upset because I should be used to their bullshit. But like, if it's good,
I think that's why
Like,
Kevin
I
Smith
was-
is so defensive because he's like he knows where it's going to lead to, and he's like, guys,
Here-
hold your horses. I
here's
know
what he
where this is
said.
going.
All right, so this is the way I look at it. Like when somebody said, "Is it He-Man centered?" and he said, "Yes," he's not lying because again, what is the motivation to bring him back to
Yeah.
at least to honor him? When Zack
It's a sort
Snyder
of power
said
back,
that,
basically.
when Zack Snyder said
mean-
that Superman was in Justice League, nobody was like, "You fucking liar!" He was in 20 minutes of that movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you saw it coming a mile away even after BVS. I was like, he'll be back. Come on,
I mean,
guys.
I mean, if you want to be fucking technical, you did get like a whole fucking heaven of He-Man, He-Men, and women.
exactly.
Like, on a fucking
Yeah.
like in an episode.
yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
like he's like, oh, you mean Prince Adam? Oh no. Like I'm like, look, if I'm Kevin, and the fucked up thing is, if you are familiar with anything Kevin Smith and any of his works, he gets super fucking defensive about all his shit.
oh
And
yeah,
'cause he
that's just the way he is.
Sometimes he knows it's not good, but he's like, dude, I'm gonna make my fucking movies. Fuck it. You either like it or you don't.
You're gonna
Move
watch
the
it
fuck
anyway,
on.
so whatever.
Right, look, fuck you, man. I'm here making movies with my friends. That's all I'm gonna do. And with this one, it's like he should have just said, fucking trust the process. Like, relax. It's only 5 fucking episodes. We're
You know
we're
people
not
don't
even
trust
that
the
like
process.
it's the fucking internet, man. The internet don't fucking care. They want their shit now, and they want it like the biggest thing. One thing I said with Joe is like this is because nostalgia is a motherfucker, man.
Mhm.
It makes you want things the way you remember them without wanting change, without leaving any room for change. Like, if one thing is changed, you are going to bitch about it. Like, it could be the smallest minute of fucking details. You're going to fucking bitch about it. That's how strong nostalgia is.
Well, it
And this
also
is coming
makes
from a
you
dude who's a
want
sucker from the
things-
fucking 80s.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
go
like
ahead.
I was born in '82, so I mean, it's like I remember growing up with all of this shit, and
Yeah.
this nostalgia plays a trick. It tricks you into thinking you remember things a certain way, but you're remembering how you wanted them to be and not how they were. Like if you go back and you watch He-Man now, it's not a great show. They never fight. They never throw a punch. He-Man never punches anybody. He pulls out his sword. He never uses it. He just holds it, right? He throws a lot of people. He throws things at people. He never punches Skeletor, right?
There's interesting lore even besides that, but yeah, you're not really, even as a kid, you're not paying attention to the lore. You're just like, oh, He-Man, I got the power, and that's it.
Yeah, it was wish fulfillment. That's the whole thing for me.
Yeah,
It was
that's all it is.
He I mean, listen, He-Man in the 80s was fucking swole ass He-Man in the Henley and a pink vest, but you know, like that was a worse disguise than Clark Kent.
Jesus.
Oh, somebody
But,
brought that up because it was like, that's probably, you know what? I would say this. I think that's probably why I like the 2000 one because they actually changed the dynamic of what Prince Adam looks like and then what He-Man looks like. And so you buy into everybody not knowing who's who. So it's like, all right, that makes sense. But yeah.
Well, not only that,
They did
but, like,
change. They did change him up. They did change it up a little bit, but it's still kind of like, bruh, are you fucking serious?
Yep.
like okay, like do you not see the? I mean, look at the face and the like. The fucking bowl cut, the fucking haircut does not change.
I'm glad it
Rough
kind of
shit.
sort of changed up the hairstyle and in this one a
It's
little
shorter.
bit.
It's shorter, and then like when he's He-Man, it's like a little longer, but like not as fucking bowl cut.
Yeah,
Like it's little details that like, hey, this is not Adam.
yeah,
But it's like if you're kind of looking at it, kind of like it's like Adam just went to the fucking gym and just found out what bull testosterone looked like. Just like, yo, it's what it is. But like real shit though. Like going and the only reason why I say this is because we went back and I watched. We did fucking Masters of the Universe for our show, Cinema Villains, and I looked at some of the cartoons and shit for that. I'm like, they did not change. He's still the same build. Adam was in the old cartoon. Adam was the same fucking build,
Same voice.
fucking
Mhm.
He-Man,
Yep.
same voice and everything. Like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was just
It's
cheaper.
so
I mean,
bad.
it was Filmation got the rights because Filmation was known for making shows on the cheap. I mean, you can
Yeah.
literally watch the show. And dude, I've got all the books. I've got all these collector's books of like the animation of He-Man, the toys of He-Man, the lore of He-Man, the comics of He. Like I have all
Yeah.
these fucking books, and like I'm telling you, I mean, if there's one thing that I love, He-Man and they're my all-time favorite things. And like, I'm not going to say I know every fucking nuance, but I appreciate, for instance, in the beginning when He-Man or Faker, we got fucking Faker in the first 30 seconds.
Yep.
And check this out, Faker wasn't fucking purple wearing Skeletor's outfit. So like, I love that it was like
Whole ass robot. It's like, all right, cool.
we can't tell him apart. Motherfucker, he's purple, has orange hair, and he's wearing Skeletor's like costume. How could you think that was He-Man? This one is like, all right, he's like an android. It looks like so I'm like, okay.
Even Duke the Sorceress, she was like, oh, I'm glad you brought these guys in.
Here's what I love, because when I was watching it, and nitpicks aside, the thing that I liked is I could tell this was made by people that gave a shit. And I could tell this was made by people that love the lore. Here's a little tiny thing. When they go to Grayskull and the jawbridge lowers, you see Sorceress as Zoar or Zor fly through the eye, but she lands on the drawbridge.
Mhm.
See, they did that because in her human form, she can't step foot out of Grayskull.
Yep.
So just them doing that, like she can leave Grayskull as the Falcon or whatever the fuck she is. Like she can leave it as that, but the fact that they showed her transform and landed right on Grayskull was like adhering to the lore of she can't step foot outside. And even the fact that that was in there was like, oh, these fuckers are paying attention. You know, they're paying attention.
It's like deep cuts. I mean, that's what, like I said, I think you get somebody like Kevin Smith that is uber like, yo, I love this shit. It's like, all right, cool. Like he knows like all those intricate details. And like I said, you got a team of writers that know this shit. It's like, yeah, that this works.
What I love is like you have nerds on the internet telling the people that literally write the stories for the canon via Mattel, saying, "Well, that's not how it goes." It's like, no, that is how it goes because we created it, and we're continuing off of the lore based on our Bible that we have, and that's actually exactly how it goes. No, that's not how it goes. It goes like this. It's like, listen, I get that we all become possessive of these things, and we all want to claim ownership because, in a way, they all do belong to us.
Yeah.
But they also don't. Like when George Lucas made the prequels, I don't like them. But listen, man, that's his shit. You know what I mean? Like that was his shit. And if that's what he says happened, then that's what happened. And then now Disney comes out and kind of retcons it, then okay. So if someone gets this after Mattel or Netflix and retcons it and says, okay, Grayskull's white, all right, whatever. But until then, he's fucking black. And get over it. And people are like, why is he being so defensive? Because it's something that he worked on, that he's poured his effort and his heart and soul into, along with countless other people for fucking 3 years. And people are nitpicking and shitting on him. Like, I get defensive too. Like,
I mean, because like I could, because like I said, some of the legit criticisms that I've seen from people that weren't doing the wine is like, okay, I understand, you know, because somebody felt like King Grayskull felt a bit like, you know, the wise black man that you see in the movies and stuff. I'm like, I can kind of see that. I understand.
Didn't Prime call him the mystical magic?
Mystical Magic Negro. Mystical Magic Negro. And I was like, you know what, Prime? I understand. I totally understand.
I'm mad because I heard that in Prime's voice. I think
It's like
I think
one of
that's
those-
what made it worse. Because I heard it, I was like, "Fuck!" I can definitely hear Prime saying that in my fucking head, in my headphones, in my brain right now, and I'm like, "Oh shit, he might be right." And I didn't fucking I didn't think of nothing of it. I didn't think of nothing of it. Then he says it, and I'm fucking ruined now. Thanks, Prime.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
mad
but-
about it, but it's like, okay, you know what? I totally understand. I totally understand it. Yeah.
But it's funny because like he and I were going back and forth. We're talking about like he's like, well, Kevin Smith is a hypocrite, and I'm like, dude, we're all fucking hypocrites. And he's like, well, how do you fit? And I'm like, because you might say it's acceptable here, but it's not acceptable there. So how can you say it's good here, but it's not good there? If it's not good,
Yeah.
then be consistent. I've seen that dude fucking nitpick Transformers and nitpick this and nitpick that, but then like this over here. And it's like, but if you don't like it for that, why do you like it for this? So if
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is a hypocrite, I'm a fucking hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
We're all
he's a
hypocrites. I
hypocrite.
mean, yeah,
That's what
it's just
fandom comes. It's like a badge you wear. Like you can't get into the you can't get into the fan convention unless you're a fucking hypocrite, and unless you get defensive about shit. And the number one defensive thing, like I love what I can't have complaints. No, motherfucker, you can have complaints, but I can also respond to your complaint. And why is it now? Why are you now offended to me responding to it when you're tearing apart something? If you don't like, here's the thing, guys. I don't like the Halloween movies. When's the last time you heard me talk about them?
never. It's just like, oh, they exist. Moving on.
Unless you bring it up, unless we talk about it, I don't bring it up. I didn't when the trailer. I didn't even fucking watch the trailer.
Oh yeah, when
I
I,
don't
saw
care
you
when it
didn't when that trailer jumped, I didn't see you tweet nothing. I was like, oh yeah,
I
Joe
don't
doesn't
because
care.
I don't care. And like the thing is, like if I
Yeah.
don't care, I'm not gonna give it the oxygen to bring attention to it.
Thank
you,
Joe.
you guys
Thank
like
you.
it?
Yep.
You guys like it, and that's great. And I would never sit here and be like, those movies shouldn't exist. I don't give a fuck. That's the thing. Like enjoy
I'm in
them,
it for the
watch
comedy at this
them.
point.
Me and Joe's relationship is I like certain shit that he doesn't. I will never fucking bring it up to him because I'm like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. We both like things that I will gladly have a conversation about, and then we'll both have disagreements on shit about things we like. That's fine. But like, why would you waste fucking energy watching something or giving your time to something that you fucking can't stand? I will never fucking know.
I mean, it's put this way. In the grand scheme of things, it's like I appreciate Joe bringing me down to earth about the Justice League Snyder cut because I was like, okay, maybe I was over the top with that shit. I was like, all right, okay, you know what? He talked me off the cliff on that one. I was like, okay, maybe I was tripping a little too hard off that shit. You know what? He's right.
It's only because I was reading it and I'm like, man, come on, you're better than this. Like, I know you are. You're better than this. Like
it was just, you know what? And I realized it was really just the fan base. It wasn't even a movie. I was just mad at just the fan base, the way they were just like going over the top. It was like, guys, chill. Like, you know, and it's like, all right, you know what? I'm taking it out on the movie. Let me chill.
But that's the thing. It's like people think that because I don't like it, I need to be vocal. And the people that are always the loudest are the people that have the most negative shit to say. But the funny thing is like, they're review bombing it. It's like you just want to sit here and be like, guys, like that's funny, but what do you think that's gonna do? Honestly, like it didn't work for Captain Marvel. It didn't work for like Netflix is like, oh, you didn't like it? Oh, but it's been in our top 10 for the last week. So
that's the thing. It's like it's one of those. It's doing the inverse opposite because I think a lot of people aren't realizing in the age of streaming. Like these companies are looking at algorithms. They don't give a fuck about the damn ratings. So if you're looking at the algorithms, it's like, oh shit, Master Universe is like our top 5 show these past 3 weeks. All right, let's keep the party going. Second season, let's go. And they ain't giving a shit about the ratings. It's like, hell no, they don't care.
It's funny because it's just like
it's the Walking Dead thing. Like people don't realize, like AMC, they care about ratings, but it's like, hey, people still talk about Walking Dead
so
from streaming, so they don't care. So
for
let's keep
instance,
it going.
I haven't watched Walking Dead since the 3rd season. When's the last time I heard you talk about Walking Dead?
Never. Every once in a while, you might be like, oh, that's still on air. That's
Yeah,
about it.
I didn't know they were going into their 11th season. I thought they were ending with season 10, but I didn't
Yeah.
I just heard that they were splitting season 11 into 3 pieces or some shit like that.
Yeah, something
And
like
like
that.
there's another spin-off coming, but like, look guys, it's just not for me. I'm gonna sit this one out. I like the first 3 seasons, but I just don't talk about it. And I just looked it up. Netflix has 209 million subscribers, right?
Mhm.
And the nerds that are throwing a fit, let's say there's 100,000. Let's just say there's fucking 250,000. Out of 209 million subscribers, you think Netflix gives a fuck what a core, even a million people?
That's a drop in the bucket.
And here's my funniest thing is like, I hate this show. I hate it so much. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it again so I can find things.
That's what
And I'm
gets me.
like,
You could have just watched it one time and just walked away. Nah, let's watch it again.
CJ,
it's just,
you know what this fucking reminds me of, dog? This
What?
reminds me of everybody who fucking watches Raw and gets pissed every fucking one. Like,
And still
stop
tweet about
watching it.
And still tweet
Stop
about it
it.
the following Monday.
Yes. Like, yo, I'm gonna stop watching. I was like, I'm gonna stop watching. No, motherfucker, you're still watching because you're talking about it. Shut the fuck up. What are you doing?
Hey, little real talk. I complained about Kofi from episode 1 of SmackDown. No bullshit. I actually did legit stop watching SmackDown. I was only watching it vicariously through people's tweets. I wasn't actively watching it. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then when Roman came back, I was like, well, I guess I'll watch SmackDown again because Roman is back. So let's go.
But I'm saying, some people, they fucking, oh, there goes Joe. Some people fucking, I guess he says, oh, fuck wrestling. He's like, I'm fucking, he probably has audio.
No, he probably,
He probably
yeah.
has audio issues.
Oh, there he is.
No, it's like people fucking,
Oh, all right.
people fucking watch things just to spite themselves. Like, why put yourself through that? Like, just why would you go through that to have an opinion about something that you legitimately are this pissed off that you're mad about? Like, why? Why do it?
I mean, I got a friend of
I got a goddamn piece.
I have a friend that we're all go to movie critics and stuff, and he actually does reviews for the show. And even he'll say, you know what, I have no reason to revisit this show, so y'all have fun with it. And I was like, that's fair because he saw the show, it wasn't him, and he's like, you know what, y'all got it, I'm good.
Listen, man. People are allowed to dislike. To me, that's not it. Like,
it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't convince people to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I like it.
I don't like it.
I can't convince it and stuff. The only people that I get mad at is the people that come back and be like, well, is the show good now? I'm like, but dude, you gave up cold turkey. Now you're asking, is it good? Like, come on. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I can't convince
when I check out of a show. Like, here's another thing: Game of Thrones. Okay, I watched the first 2 seasons. I suffered through the first 2 seasons, and I thought, okay, wait till we get to the Red Wedding, and I'm like, guys, I think I'm done. And I've tried to go back, and I've heard,
even now,
God, the last time I tried to watch it was probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I've heard like, oh man, this battle and this battle, but I'm like, but I don't want to have to go through all the shit that I missed to get to see that. And I don't want to just watch that part because then I don't know what the fuck's going on.
No context.
It's just not for me. And then when I heard how it ended, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need to see how it ended. But I mean, I'm the minority here. Most people love Game of Thrones. I don't give a fuck. I have the book and I want to read the book. I'm just not interested in the show. And that's what, in like the prequels coming out for HBO, like, great. I'll set that one out too. And you guys have fun, but catch me on the next thing. And these people
that's why I want to know: how are they gonna react to the CG He-Man show? Like, what's that going to be like? That's what I'm curious about.
They're gonna fucking crucify her.
Because what is that? Because what is the CG one about? So what's the CG one about though?
It's completely reimagined. So I don't know if you've seen the production art, but like. He wears so I'll send it to you. He wears armor, he wears pants, but like he has a complete new. It's not like I wouldn't call it futuristic.
Yeah,
but they're trying to make him less like barbarian-ish. Like in some of the comics, like as he evolved the power, he got a different look. So like him wearing pants isn't necessarily anything new, but like Skeletor looks he's still a guy with a skull, but like he looks different. Battle Cat looks a little different. The sword looks different.
Okay.
So, but it's aimed specifically at children. Like this is probably something that, 5 to 10 or 12 or something.
Oh, I'm seeing the pictures of it now. I see what they're going for.
Here's the
that
thing,
makes
man.
sense.
Here's the thing. I'll watch the shit out of it. Honestly, like I'm just glad he's back.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously going full tilt into it because I mean, even if you take it to the Transformers series and stuff, I think it's a very slow series and stuff, which I'm kind of happy to see what Kingdom is going to be like and stuff. So I think Hasbro is just like, look, we're going to sit there and keep going with this. Like I said, I was shocked that they went all in on Voltron the way they did. And I think this is what they're going to probably do with He-Man. They're like, fuck it, we're going to go all in. People are just going to have to fucking deal.
But they're doing He-Man is different than Voltron. Voltron to me probably had a wider age range.
Yeah, it's definitely a wider age range.
Whereas He-Man, to me, the way when I watch it, it feels very targeted at someone my age who grew up with He-Man.
Yeah,
and less of, let's say a 10-year-old kid,
younger nieces and nephews.
Yeah, like I don't know that maybe they would be into it because they're like, well, what the hell? Who the fuck is this?
Who's He-Man? Who's Triclops? Right. I don't know who this is.
Yeah, and like so.
Who the fuck? What the fuck is a Stankor?
Yeah. Thank you.
And with like the stakes that they're introducing, like they kill off Moss Man in the first episode, but then here's another complaint that it made me laugh. Like, how could you kill off Orko? Like, fuck you. It's like, first of all, no one gave a shit about him in the original show. He was a court jester, but if you read into who he was from an alternate dimension, and he wasn't incapable of doing magic. It's just that when he was in Eternia, the rules were opposite. So his magic by default was fucked up. Okay, cool, but he was kind of a silly character. They made him fucking matter.
Yep.
And like him talking about depression, he sacrificed himself. Here's the thing. What other mystical, magical character that can we think about that sacrificed themselves to hold back a demon or whatever the fuck you want to call him so his friends could pass, only to later come back in a different form? I'll give you 2 seconds. Gandalf.
Yep.
Raiden.
There you go.
Raiden.
Gandalf too.
Like
Gandalf though. Gandalf easily though. It is true.
When I see people on the internet going like, "You killed him," I'm like, "Motherfucker, have you ever seen sci-fi or fantasy? No one ever stays dead." Like,
after the put it this way, look, whatever I feel about Max Landis is one thing, but he made a valid point. It's like after Superman got killed and got resurrected, deaths don't really have the impact that they do unless you actually write it well. Unless you write it very well, deaths don't mean anything anymore. And it's like, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Because, it's a gimmick at this point, to kill them off and then to build it back up. That's why I'm like, don't get it twisted. Seeing Skeletor stab Prince Adam, it was unexpected. Because I was like, holy shit, like, fuck. So it was like, yeah, we know Prince Adam's going to come back. It's just the case of, well, how does that happen? So I'm happy to see where that goes. But it is still, sometimes when you see somebody get stabbed, it's like, oh shit, like.
I don't think he died. I think he's mortally. Here's like was the thing with Orko, real quick, like because I heard people like, oh, you sacrifice. Yeah, but in that episode with him and Evelyn, like he watched the dead, like zombie versions of his fellow species form together into a monster that attacked him. Meanwhile, he's depressed and nearly dead. Like think about all that. Like they made the character matter, and. Yep. Him talking like take me on one last adventure, like that shit broke my heart, like and then him sacrificing yada yada yada, like come on man, he's gonna be back. But somebody was like, oh, the rules don't even apply, how come everybody else was on Preternia but he wasn't? And this is the thing that gets me. If you're gonna complain and you're gonna say stupid shit, at least know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yep.
It's like saying I don't like peanut butter and jelly. How come we're out of peanut butter? Well, I thought you don't. Wait, what? Like, if you don't like it, then substitute the peanut butter for something. No. Like, it's he's a different species. His heaven is different.
Yeah.
Preternia is kind of like the heaven, at least in this version, the heaven for the champions and shit. So he wouldn't exist there. And Mossman is only there because he's kind of like he's elemental.
The powerful person.
Well, he's nature.
Yeah.
And like the complaints and the this, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you don't even know what you're complaining. You're just complaining to complain.
Yeah,
because
it'd be
like
one
the
thing
cool
if we
thing.
got all 10 episodes, and then it's like, okay, I can understand it, but it's like we got 5 episodes, so I can only it's like I can only understand the complaints to the degree of maybe it's coming from a layer, because I'm empathetic to a degree with some people, that maybe it's just the frustration of like, fuck, I gotta wait another year for another 5 episodes to see if maybe my complaints are valid or maybe it's going to be invalidated, kind of thing.
But do you think people are being that sensible? Because I don't.
I think some people are, but I think a majority of folks are kind of like, all right, you guys are getting a little fucking nuts with this shit.
Well, it's like you didn't give me what I wanted, what I wanted, I don't even know. But like, I think I wanted something from the 80s. But in the 80s, he never fought. He never threw a punch. So if they just adapted that exactly to now, then they complain about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, at least to me, even beyond all this, like I said, when I watch all 5 episodes, I just like all the buildup of lore building and stuff. Like even with what the fuck was the name of the robot?
Roboto.
Yeah, Roboto. Wow. How did I say not know the name? Roboto, and him, sacrificing himself just to get the swords, clicking together and stuff.
And him even saying,
okay, like, Shaggy, you're on here twice. How the hell that happened?
Yeah, I got
okay. No, yeah, no.
And him even saying like, I'm afraid, but because I'm afraid now I can feel like even shit like that. I'm like, damn, that's fucking deep.
He's just an imprint of Man of Arms. It ain't like he has like it's like, oh shit, like wow.
But then I saw people like, how could you kill him off? I'm like, motherfucker, he's a robot.
He knew, and he knew it was going to happen. He was like, yeah, if this happens, I mean, there's a possibility I could go
rebuild him. It's like the fucking Terminator. It's the same goddamn Terminator. He just has different programming now. He looked the same. He talked the same.
He literally said, hey, I'm just an imprint of you. So, yeah, we're fine.
Did you guys get the impression watching it with certain comments and certain things, you could hear the writers going, oh, God, someone's going to fucking complain about this. So they put in like, hey, I'm just an imprint of you, as a way to be like, see, guys, did you hear that?
A lot of writers do that. It is kind of like sometimes it comes across very organically and stuff. I think in this show, it does come across organically to a degree, but you can kind of tell it was like, okay, we have to put this in here just to kind of quelch any sort of issues people might have with it, maybe.
It's like expositioning your exposition.
Yeah,
it's the weirdest fucking thing, because it's like, oh, that fucking fit, but why are you talking about this twice? Like, even
Skeletor coming back and him explaining how he came back, and I was like, that actually makes sense. Son of a bitch, it does make sense. Why because
it makes just like he's like, yo, I put the last shred of my essence in fucking Evelyn's God was like, you're fucking Emily. I'm sorry. I'm like, wait, did Skeletor just fucking apologize? What the fuck kind of shit is this? Like, I hope you forgive me. I was like, I hope you forgive me, my dear. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is going on?
I mean, Skeletor felt. I will say this: Skeletor did come across very Joker-esque a little bit to me, and I don't know whether that's just because it's Mark Hamill voicing it, so that's just in my head.
It's Mark Hamill.
Okay,
see, and the funny thing is, you went Joker. You went Joker. You went Joker, Mark Hamill. I went fucking Adventure Time and fucking Skips.
Shit! Yep.
Type of fucking Mark Hamill, because that's like that's the fucking voice he was fucking having to me, because I was like, he's just trying to get older to get away from that Joker sound, but he's like that. But if you watch like Adventure Time or even regular show, you're hearing that version of Mark Hamill in the show. I do like the fact that this Skeletor was a mixture of what we got in 2002 and the old school shit. Silly enough to be like menacing enough to still be a Saturday morning cartoon villain. If that makes sense.
It was fucking hilarious when they dunked him in the water and he's sitting there and he's like, what if we painted it with a nice granite? Or like in the first episode when he's like, the mighty skeleton, and he gets blasted and you just see him skid across the ground.
That shit was so fucking funny to me, bro.
That was like vintage 80s He-Man right there. I was like, yep. I mean, and that's the thing too, because it's like, because that was the thing.
It was
Like the
like something-
2002. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead.
My bad.
No. I'm just gonna do fucking my skeleton
No.
voice. You can get it. Go.
No, because that was the thing that like because it's weird with Skeletor for me because it's like I like the 80s version and I blame Robot Chicken for that shit because like it's fucking perfect and stuff. But also at the same time, like I like the 2002 version because he was very like serious to the degree of serious and stuff. You never felt like there was any jokey stuff with it. So I feel in this series they're trying to meld the two together where it's like the beginning, yeah, when he gets shot and he's just skidding, it's like okay, that's like vintage 80s Skeletor right there, and then boom, he got serious. I was like, oh, okay, all right, cool. I like this. I'm fine with this.
It's to me, it's I've heard people like, I bet Kevin Smith told him to do the Joker. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like now you're just making shit up. Like you're speculating as to, I bet he did this. I bet he fucking burns puppies. You know,
It's like trying to ask Kevin Conroy not to sound like Bruce Wayne. It's like you hear Kevin Conroy, it's like
It's
fuck.
it's hard, dude. It's hard for these dudes not to sound like themselves when
It's not
they
even
had
that.
a specific voice.
It's
Go ahead.
we've heard Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as
For
Batman and the
years.
Joker for damn near 30 years, right?
Yep.
Those voices,
Mhm.
if Kevin Conroy called me on the phone today, I would know who the fuck that was.
Yep.
The voice
Immediately.
printed into, like, here's a fun fact. Mossman was Alan Oppenheimer, the original Skeletor, and you could hear when he says, like, leave this place, you could hear a little bit of Skeletor in that voice. And I believe he played Mossman. I think he did a couple voices, but like the original Skeletor was in it, and you could hear him with Kevin Conroy, him playing Merman. My only gripe was like, you couldn't have put some kind of water effect over his voice. But then
I was waiting for it.
But then I'm kind of like, you know what? What the fuck is he supposed to sound like? You know what I mean? Like, what is
Like Susan Eisenberg is like, I know her voice is Wonder Woman, so her playing the sorceress is like, well, that's Susan Eisenberg.
That's exact. I heard that, but he probably made him do the Joker for his own amusement. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck
like,
up.
Fucking Stephen Bloom. I've watched so much anime. It's like Stephen Bloom is just ingrained in my head. It's like, yeah, it's Stephen Bloom. Of course it is. Obviously, you know.
It's just, which is why I'm glad that they got like kind of lesser known people to do, like Chris Wood. I don't know his voice, but I thought he did good as He-Man.
Dude, I didn't even know that was Alicia Silverstone voicing
Marlena.
Dude, same thing. Like it was the casting choices on the year where this is probably one of my favorite casting choices in a while, since probably Invincible. When it comes to animated features. Happy characters, and I was talking to Joe about who was voicing Tila, and I thought it was
Jillian
I can't forget the name. Thank you. I thought it was Jillian Jacobs and not Sarah Michelle Gellar, because I'm like, they kind of had like a similar voice tone, but then after a while, I heard Sarah Michelle like after the fact, so I was like, okay, but it like they definitely had that similar voice tone at first, but I really like the voice acting, which was kind of funny with everything, like fucking hearing Kevin Conroy. It's certain motherfuckers that have certain tones.
Like fucking Stephen Root, man. Stephen Root as Cringer. I was like,
not just not just that, fucking not just that, but fucking Henry Rollins has been doing voice acting in cartoons for a minute, and he's the same fucking voice. Hey, I'm Matt Stan or Johnny Rancid. Fucking Teen Titans, same fucking dude. Same like fucking.
He knows the voice. He knows the what's everybody saying on Twitter? He knows the assignment. It's like every time.
Yeah, he knows the assignment, but it's like every time. It's like he's like, I'm getting it wrong. That motherfucker, man. I swear, I think this is the funniest damn shit ever.
Dude, they got Phil Lamar as Hero. I was like, of course they got Phil Lamar to be Hero. Why wouldn't?
Yeah, come on, bro. You not gonna have Phil Lamar no shit like this, bro. Come on. Now.
When they announced Phil Lamar as Hero, I'm like, oh damn, they're gonna make Hero black too. And then when he's white, I'm like, ooh, I wonder who's gonna complain about that.
Nobody does, because Phil Lamar voiced a Japanese character in Samurai Jack.
Dude,
if it was an Asian guy voicing a black guy or a black guy voicing a Mexican guy, people would throw a fucking fit and it would be a whole thing.
It's weird because it was never like that until like recently, and I was like, y'all never really cared about the voice of the characters and stuff up until now, right? Nobody cares.
Who gives a shit?
It was the Apu documentary. That pretty much changed the game on voice acting, and I'm just like, huh. like I get it, but I'm like, I never fucking cared, man. Just if you're good at it, just fucking do it.
As long as you ain't going,
Like,
stereotypical, I'm fine with it. It's just fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be funny, but it's whatever.
Dude, it's again like the whole like if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But what always gets me about these things is like if I've had people go, oh well, you're not really a fan because if you were, you wouldn't like this, and I'm like, I don't have to qualify or quantify my fandom for you. I don't like who the fuck. First of all, I don't know who the fuck you are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, and I don't. Listen, man. Like, I'm almost 40 and I'm washed and I'm tired and I've only got X amount of hours in the day. And I'm not going to spend any of this fucking time on your bullshit. So, like, okay, then I'm not a big fan. So, cool. Okay. And, like, I know Prime posted a picture because someone said the same thing to him. And he posted a picture of his DVDs. And I was like, dude, you don't have to quantify or qualify your fan. Fuck them. Like, fuck
Hey,
'em.
look, sometimes we get into that trap because I was like that when everybody was like dogging Power Rangers. I was like, fuck you guys, man. Power Rangers. Like, okay, let me stop myself for a second. Yeah, let's let it go. Let it go.
It's just
I've
like,
learned
look,
over
man.
the years never to fucking. As many times I've seen them make Batman jokes on fucking Twitter, I learned like
Oh, them shits are
several
funny,
years
but
ago
I get
to
it.
I mean, yeah, but I just be like, y'all gotta be fucking like some be funny as hell. Rest of them be like, y'all have never read a fucking comic book and it shows. And I'm like, you know what? No, it's the internet. I'm gonna let you say whatever the fuck you want because it ain't bothering me. It's just fucking words. I'm a fucking avatar, bro. I don't know you, man. I'm not gonna fucking argue about some shit that's make believe. The fuck I look
Yeah.
like.
You know what? I'll
No.
say this. Powerhouse Animation Studio, they are like slowly making the fucking name for themselves on the
God, that
animation front.
Man, you aren't kidding. That animation is so fucking
I mean, because
clean.
it's so clean because like everybody thought that the Castlevania show was like an actual like anime the way it looked. And everybody was like, and then I heard somebody was like, yeah, it's not really anime, but their animation is fucking crisp as shit. Like it's so good it has an anime-esque feel to it, which to be honest, that's been kind of the ongoing thing for like American animation recently, starting from like Avatar: The Last Airbender, is like that whole getting inspiration from Japanese anime in terms of like the visual flair of like cartoons and stuff. So like I saw Revelations. I thought it was like the 2002 series all over again. I was like, this is great. I want more.
Not only that, but like I remember when they announced this 2 or 3 years ago, they called it a Netflix anime series, and I was like, oh, fuck, man, because I'm not an anime fan. Like I like Castlevania. I like a handful of anime, but most of it's
when
like
they said that, I was thinking the same way, like anime He-Man?
Yeah,
Dude,
sure,
yeah,
I
dude.
guess.
Matter of fact, that y'all just brought that up. If you fucking read like the synopsis of it, they still call it anime, or it even pops up in like Netflix anime series. And I'm just
That's
like,
what makes it weird. I'm like,
it's
like,
weird
what
because it's
I'm
not
like, anime?
because Kevin
It's
Smith
not.
said that like that's what they were calling it originally, and then he said that when they turned in the first draft of the scripts, Netflix was like, basically, it's not anime. We're just calling it animated. He's like, that was our fuck up, because like again, like Here's the thing: I don't like anime. I don't talk about anime. I like fucking Castlevania. I liked Afro Samurai, but I realized that's not quote unquote real anime, so I don't really give a shit. I like what I like, but then He-Man and anime, I was like, I'm not really like
because
into
in
it.
my head, I'm thinking like anime, like, oh boy, they're gonna go like Japanese anime with the He-Man. They're gonna really lose their shit.
I'm
And
thinking
it's
like
like,
the
oh.
vein on the forehead and the fucking like stressed out eyes and the red cheeks. Like, oh god. And I see,
mean,
like, but Powerhouse, man,
Fucking-
like, it's like everything about it is visually.
like Blood of
I'm
Zeus was like crazy.
Blood of Zeus was awesome. I'm assuming you guys watched it in 4K.
I don't have
Yeah.
a 4K TV, but
Okay.
like I
I
still,
did.
I mean,
I
the
did.
animation
Jesus
is still
Christ.
fucking great.
Bro,
It's
that
even in HD, man.
man-
It's incredible. But
Oh,
if
it's
you
very
watch
incredible.
it in 4K, it's just.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Dolby
it-
Vision. Fucking
yeah, it was because I watched it when it came out in the front room TV, and then I watched it with Julie last night. We watched the first episode, and we were watching it in bed. And our bed and our TV in our bedroom is hung a little higher, so you can lay down and look up at it. We had the lights off and everything, and even in pitch black, with just the vibrant colors of the first episode inside the palace, inside of this, inside of that. Like, aside from the whole, like, I can't believe this is He-Man, I was like, God damn, this just looks really fucking good. And here's the thing, they gave He-Man nipples for the first time. He's got nipples. He never had
they
nipples
actually
before.
did it. They just like like the old show. They just pretended it never existed. It's like, does it exist?
Bro.
I think it does.
Man's with smooth chest. Man's with smooth, had a smooth
Like the
chest.
toys.
I watched the Mike Young one the other day, and I was like, he don't got nipples. Even when they zoom in, like, there's certain episodes where they really go above and beyond with the transformation.
Yeah.
You know, they show the transformation up close. I was like, that motherfucker doesn't have nipples. Like, you could have just drawn a couple of circles right there just to give him a little bit of anatomy, you know. And I'm like that they went the Joel Schumacher route and gave him some pronounced nipples in this one, and some, you know, I mean, like, even shit like that. I'm like, they just paid attention to, you know, like, he's this, he's that, he's fucking huge. Or here's another thing. My biggest nitpick, and this is such a stupid thing, was in the original, he had a scabbard to put the sword in, right? So the sword went into like a scabbard, like a sheath. And in this one, it looked like he just stuck it kind of in between his back and his harness. And I'm like, what the fuck? But in a certain shot, they show him from, like, you're kind of looking above him, and you can see clearly that the back of the harness has a slot for the sword to slide into. And even that, I was like, motherfucker, like, see, I'm glad I kept my mouth shut. Yeah, like, the attention to detail is just, like, it blew me away. Honestly, like, with Skeletor, like, Skeletor has, like, the nicest teeth for a fucked up skeleton. Like,
yeah. That, to this day, that fucking never, to this day, that still doesn't sit right with me. Because even the Misfit fucking logo with the Skeletor on my fucking bicep has, like, decent fucking teeth for a fucked up skeleton, which drives me insane. I'm like, how, bro? He-Man's hit you in the face like 60 times. What's going on?
Magic dentistry, man. Remember Molar, Eternian dentist? Molar.
Oh,
he was a toy.
My God, shut up.
He was a toy that came out, I think, like 15, 20 years. His name was Molar. Yep, he was the Eternian dentist, and the toy came with Skeletor in a dentist chair.
I swear to God, Robot Chicken has fucked me up with some of these side characters, man. When because you know, you just now said it's a real. You said you telling that to me. I thought Robot Chicken was bullshitting on Molar, and now that you said it was an actual real character, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's the attorney. He was the attorney and dentist. He wasn't in the show or anything, but like,
kind of like just Scareglow. Said it, Scareglow, where he was just a toy and they just never implemented it.
Shit, basically. Like most of them, fucking Wondar, Hero, they were all just toys. What do you guys think about people freaking out about how they're kind of hinting at Teela being gay?
I never really felt they hinted at it, to me, honestly, because it didn't feel like. It felt like she had a camaraderie with an old girl, but that was about it.
That's how I took it too. That's how I took it too.
It's just a camaraderie. It's just like a sisterhood kind of thing. That's it.
On top of that, she looked underage as hell. So I'm like, no, that's just inappropriate that y'all would even think that.
Yeah.
Like, don't even relax.
But this is the thing that we do in society, because it was like when people got mad at Anthony Mackie talking about like him and Bucky and stuff, and I was like, guys, like, just because two guys are like, you know, got a bromance shit going on doesn't mean that they're gay. So why are you mad that he basically said that him and Bucky aren't gay? Like, what are we doing here? Like, it's
stop. Just stop. Just stop, man.
Like, they have a sisterhood. They have a camaraderie. They have a sisterhood. That's it. That's all it really is. It's fine. It's cool.
Well, what's funny is because the complaint that I saw was that if you make Teela gay, then she can't get with Adam, which is what they've hinted at. And the counter argument is, okay, they're more like brother and sister, because Teela's destiny is to become the sorceress, because the sorceress is her mother, and they've clearly hinted at that in this show.
100%.
And regardless if she has a thing with Adam or fucking Andra or Cringer or fucking Orko, it doesn't matter, because her destiny is tied to Grayskull, which means she can never have a romance with any of them, because she's kind of an ethereal being. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like a tragic story. It's almost like Rogue. You know,
Yeah, it
she
really
loves
is.
Adam, but she can't really ever. So it doesn't matter if she's in love with Andra or whoever, because to me, in my opinion, if I'm reading the story right, he's mortally wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Something is going to involve the sorceress giving her life to bring him back, or to be able to transform him into He-Man without the sword, in order for him to fight Skelegod, which
Mhm.
leaves Grayskull without a protector in the sorceress, which then Tila has to,
Be the
the
sorceress.
revelation she realizes. Revelation is that the sorceress is her mother, and that is her destiny, which is kind of fucked up, because Man at Arms would have been lied to her again. Which I'm
Dog,
like,
no,
damn.
okay, hold on. Time out. Bro, I swear to God, I think I fucking smiled and laughed every time the Man at Arms was like, yo, Tila, I gotta tell you something that I did.
Yeah.
She's like, not now. Like, not now.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm really trying to fucking tell you something. And
No.
he's like,
Tell me later.
"What?"
Tell me later. We're good.
She's like, and it just, the story just kind of just like glosses over that. It's like, hey man, it's like, and even the social is like, yo, we should probably say, Tila, there's something. Nope, don't want to hear it. Just walks away. I'm like, yo, they trying to learn from their lesson and telling you the truth, and you don't want to hear it now.
So when he reveals
I don't know
it,
why I
he
thought that was
flips
so funny.
out. No, it's funny because when it's like, bitch, I tried to tell you 50 times. I mean, Adam tried to tell you.
It's gonna be like episode 7 is gonna be revealed. And she's like, "What the fuck did anybody tell me? I was trying to tell you, like you said,
Bitch,
trying to tell you
I've
like
been
3
trying to tell you
episodes ago."
Like 3 goddamn episodes, man. Chill out. You can't be
Look,
mad.
What gets me is that's kind of how I'm thinking it plays out, is like Tila is going to become the new sorceress, which is kind of always her. That's always been her thing. Like in the stories, like she fell into the eternity pit, yada yada yada. She becomes like the serpent sorceress because she always had that snake motif.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's kind of where I'm reading. Skeletor versus He-Man. He-Man without the sword. But one thing that I did get excited over was I watched that He-Man Beyond podcast with Kevin Smith and Griffin Newman, who plays Orko. Which, dude, credit to that guy. That was his voice. He did that voice. There was no fucking digital effect over that.
Jeez,
Oh,
that's
nice.
crazy.
Wow. And that dude is a diehard fan, and he said that Kevin Smith was like, dude, this guy would not fucking leave me alone. He wanted this role more than anything. And he's like, I want to play Orko. And I appreciate that, because they got a fan of the property in there to play a character that he wanted to play. But anyways, Kevin Smith said this. He was like, first of all, he's not dead. Because I like what he goes, do you think Mattel would hire me and say, go ahead and kill him off permanently? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, Mattel knew what they were doing when they got Kevin Smith. They was like, hey, we got a plan here, guys. It's just trust the process, as Shaggy said.
But what he said is, he goes, for the people that are shitting on the show of how you kill off the 2 characters in the beginning, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, he can't be He-Man without a sword. He goes, I don't know if it's episode 6, but he said in the second half, He-Man and Skelegod have a fight for 7 minutes where they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I think he said spoilers, and he was like, "Yeah, hopefully I don't get in trouble for this." I'll laugh my ass off when he said that.
This is what got me, because I'm thinking like, well, if he's got the sword, then he's infinitely more powerful. Here's the thing, and I'm looking at my statues right now. They've always depicted him with the axe, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's depicted more with the axe on packaging than he is with the sword, but he never used the fucking axe. In any cartoon iteration, he never used the axe.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith said, you know how like they always show him with the axe and the shield?
Yeah.
That's the He-Man that goes against Skelegod. Is you get the fucking axe, shield, barbarian He-Man against Skelegod with the power sword. And he's like, it's not quite as brutal as the fight between Omni-Man and Invincible, because obviously we're not going that route.
Oh, hell no.
And he's like, but within the context of our show, it's as brutal as we can get. And he's like, they beat the shit out of each other for 7 minutes. And he was like, when I got the fucking final footage back and I watched it, and of course, he's going to say this shit because it's his show, but like, listen, man, like, I can tell he's passionate about it. You know,
Oh, he's trying to do right by the stuff, obviously.
listen,
it
man,
makes
I
perfect
grew up
sense.
with this shit for listen, this shit's as old as I am, and I've grown up with this shit my entire life. I fucking love He-Man, and as a He-Man fan, I watched it. There's a couple of things here and there I'm like, but nothing enough to make me like, turn into salty internet nerd kid
Oh yeah,
and review. It's like this is when I was playing with my He-Man toys as a child.
yeah.
This is what I envisioned. This is what was going on in my head when I had my toys. He-Man would stab him, and then they'd fight, and then he'd beat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're bringing to life what I envisioned when I played with my toys when I was a child. And to hear that they're gonna have a knockdown, drag out fight. They also said that fucking Method Man was a voice in the show, which I was like, oh.
Well, they didn't say who,
Jesus
but I'm
Christ.
just like, all right, yeah. I think that was
That's
the one where he was like,
gonna be another voice. That's gonna be another voice. You're gonna fucking like, no, I know exactly who the fuck that is.
Why? But I keep on like Zodak.
hmm.
I don't. Yeah,
I can see that.
I'm trying to think of who else he would fucking put. Like, yeah, you know what? Okay, all right.
Just like an obscure fuck.
I can see that.
Or like Mechaneck.
I mean,
What's
oh, cut out. Joe, you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Kind of cut out a little bit.
Yeah, he dropped that thing, and I was like, damn. Because I suspect they're still not done bringing in more characters, maybe even ones that we haven't seen.
Yeah, they're like in post-production right now. I think
Yeah,
on
he
the
said
latter
that.
half right now.
He just submitted the score, so he's like, we're almost done, but it should be done in like the next couple of weeks. So he's kind of waiting for them to give him my best guess is between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I'm hoping, man, because I need my fix.
I feel they're gonna do a trailer at New York Comic Con for it.
When is that?
New York Comic Con's in late September.
Man, give me something. When they fucking showed that trailer with that goddamn "I Need a Hero" song, I had to go take a shower.
I mean, when they do that second half, I think you know what though. Here's the funny thing: we talk about outrage for the show and stuff. I feel that trailer for the second half. I'm not gonna say that it's gonna shut people up, but I think it's gonna get a lot of people that were doing all the fucking hubbub. They're gonna be like, "Oh, well, shit, maybe we kind of jumped the gun a little bit on this."
I think you're giving people too much credit.
I know I'm giving them too much credit here, but it's. I think it's gonna be one of those situations where they'll watch it and be like, "Well, I guess he shut me up," but I'm still gonna complain, and I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Yeah, of course, because that's what the motherfuckers do. I just need that shit. I need that shit, man. Just give it to me, bro.
I mean, you can't tease me
come
with
on,
King
man.
Skeletor like that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, King Skeletor, goddamn!"
They got fucking horns and shit. I can't believe you don't like that look.
Dude.
like
Man,
it.
he's talking about me.
Okay.
I like the fucking simplicity of just like Skeletor's normal fucking design. I understand Skelegod, but like I'm just give me the fucking cloak, skull mask, and just fucking funny ass disposition. But like, yes, I understand he's fucking menacing, but it's kind of like, I mean, I know he's gonna get his ass whooped anyway.
Yeah.
Like, but like at least I can kind of be like, all right, bet this one's gonna like scam me out. I don't know, man. It's weird, man. I don't hate the design. It's just like not my favorite, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not your thing, kind of thing.
Julie bought me that figure for Father's Day, I think. It's a Father's Day gift to me. That motherfucker's heavy. It's a heavy ass. I haven't taken it out of the box yet.
Is it top heavy?
No, I haven't. It's still in the box because my office is we're adding like baseboards and shit, so I haven't taken it out yet. But like even the box is like a good pound to 2 pounds. It's like it's a heavy ass figure, and he comes with like flame hands and shit like that. So I'm kind of curious to see like what he's able to do as a sorcerer plus with the sword.
Yeah.
You know, because remember they always showed him with like the purple sword and He-Man with the silver sword. Like, do you guys think that the sword is going to get split in the show, or do you think
Probably
how do
not
you
in
think it
this one,
ends?
man. I think. Oh, how you think it ends?
Mhm.
Oh
Jeez.
shit!
Like, do you
You
think
know
there's a
what, dude?
finality to it, or is there at
I'll
least some
get you
kind
next
of like
time.
yeah.
I honestly, man, I think there might be a finality to it. We might not get that bitch for. I don't think part 2 is gonna be like the end. But Kevin Smith is also known for not continuing things for
So
a
it might be
while. So like,
King Hiss and bringing all of them into the mix.
yeah, like he could fucking do that, but like it's also like I don't think it'll be the end. I think it'll be like Skeletor will be fucking defeated, and if this fight goes anywhere that I think it's going, somebody gonna leave like more like fucking embarrassingly fucking mortally wounded and fucking like call it a day. You won't see that motherfucker probably for next season. But like it depends on how far it goes. And with the internet outrage, which I never count in anything, if it's one of the more popular shows, Netflix is gonna want to probably pump it out for as long as they can.
Mm-hmm.
And like for as long as they can, but they're not gonna do it like any crazy shit because it's just like, yo, we can still do this. And if as long as he wants to do it, I guess it's all up to Kevin Smith. But Joe put something in my fucking brain that I can't fucking escape, and I kind of want to see it now. Fucking Evelyn being the new Skeletor.
You're welcome.
It's been as soon as you said it, it's been burrowing in my fucking brain, and the part of me is like, yeah, she could be like Skeletor sorcerers, but I swear to God, they fucking melt her face off. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm like, God damn it!
Or
this is the weird.
Or do we see? I mean, listen, He-Man's going to win. We all know that.
Yeah.
So order has to be restored, yada yada. Because in the off chance they don't get a second season, they have to have some kind of finality because that's what the first show was lacking. That's why they made this show, was because it was just like, all right, we're done. Or do we see him defeated, maybe powerless? You know, I don't want to see Evelyn turn good because like then you have to call her like not Evelyn, or you know what I mean? Like,
you gotta keep her in that spectrum of like she's still gonna be up to
Shout out to her
shenanigans.
finally answering that fucking question, going like, no, it's not. I'm not called Evelyn because like I add that on later.
I actually thought it was pretty funny.
That was great. I was like, that's fucking that broke
Perfect.
the like the seriousness of the conversation between her and Orko. She's like, no. Like, can I ask you a question? No, I'm not called Evelyn. I was like, that's fucking great.
Well, the fact that he said that his name was Oracle to me, because in the Trawlin lore, there was kind of a like a master wizard named Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's revealed to be Oracle, I don't know if it's going to be the same thing, but that's what leads me to believe he's not dead, is that maybe he's more powerful than, you know, we imagine. Because like when He-Man wins and he restores order, yada, 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 that means that magic returns. So perhaps, that perhaps, you know, he can come back. Anyways, my point is, what if Skeletor is defeated? He's depowered, you know, he's quote unquote on death's door. And we see, you know, the new big bad is like, now that the magic has been disrupted, it awoken something, and it opened up the portal for Hordak. Because I've always wanted to see him, like, dude, they hinted at him in that Mike Young show with King Grayskull, and he was so fucking badass.
Yep.
That techno vampire shit, you know, with the fangs and the bit, like.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably get carte blanche to just go into the She-Ra bag and just start bringing some of them characters in. Not She-Ra herself, but just her rogue gallery kind of thing.
Well,
I think they might do that.
He was a He-Man villain before he was a She-Ra. It's almost like Kingpin. Kingpin was a Spider-Man villain before he was Daredevil, but now he's kind of a Daredevil villain.
Punisher first appeared in Spider-Man.
And like I would love to see the Horde. I'd love to see King Hiss, but I'm telling you right now, the Sorceress gives up her life to turn him into He-Man, you know, which probably
that's the only fucking definite, Joe. That's the only fucking definite I got, because like the way it ends, that's the only thing. That's how it ends. Because I got nothing else. Like I don't know whether they're gonna keep the show going or they're gonna just call it, But that's the only definite I can fuck. I'm right there with you. It's the only fucking definite I got, dog. I can't see anybody else. I can't see anything else.
Well, I'm just, to me, I'm like, how the fuck else does he become He-Man? If he doesn't have the sword, how does it, if he takes the sword from Skeletor, then he's not Skelegod. So there has to be another, magical thing to turn him into it, which here's my only criticism of this show. In the lore, whoever wielded the sword had the power, right? But it was also the power, and the sword chose, kind of like the Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It chose who wielded it.
Yeah.
And He-Man, I don't know about you guys, but like, I really, really enjoy when they were in Preternia and all the champions kind of clowned on Adam because they were like, yeah, he's the only one that chose his lesser form.
Yep.
Which to me spoke to how pure of a person he is. Yeah. It was very Steve Rogers before the serum to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just a good dude. And Skeletor being able to grab the sword and transform, I was like, oh fuck, I thought it chose the wielder. Like that sword should be like, nah, bitch. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. But listen, man, that ending, I don't think any of us saw him getting stabbed like that.
I mean, it just came out of nowhere. It was kind of like the Coulson shit in Avengers, where it's like, what the fuck? He got stabbed? Like, goddamn! All right, shit.
I swear to God, like it was the left field. Like I'm gonna tell you what I thought originally. So I thought when Evil-Lyn was working with the sorceress and shit, and they were kind of doing their thing, and they were like, "Yo, you need me to help get this shit back." I'm thinking it was a trick to just bring Skeletor back, right? But the more and more the series went on, I was like, "Huh, that's not it." But what tipped me off was, I think it was either at the end of episode 4 or at the beginning of 5. I think it was 5. Evil-Lyn stares into her fucking staff, and the staff is speaking to her, and she's just like lost in it. And then she snaps out. She snaps out. Like, we got to get back to fucking Eternia, like now. And I'm thinking, okay, something ain't right.
Yeah.
But then Adam comes back and they like form the sword. They got the sword and everything. This is all right. We're gonna give this a fucking try. And then like nothing else is going on, and it says, "I have the power. I have the stab," and then blood drop. I'm like, did Evil-Lyn just fucking stab this motherfucker? No,
that's what I thought too.
Skeletor, and I'm like, that's when I fucking started laughing because I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I said, I can't believe they did this shit. Let's go. All fucking Skeletor bias and love aside, I didn't thought it was Evil-Lyn just trying to be like, yo, I just want the power. Fuck Skeletor. Or like they were trying to bring Skeletor back. Like trying to bring Skeletor back because the way it was going, like they were gone. Like you did not hear shit about Skeletor the entire fucking time unless it was a flashback. Like they may have mentioned him once and just like kept it going for each episode. Adam, He-Man. Always was the conversation. And then Skeletor was like an afterthought. So it was like, what? Yeah, nothing. Like you didn't fucking hear Scareglow say anything about Skeletor being down there. Like,
yeah, because I think
all fucking points to him not being in hell.
Yeah, because then I think he was I think it was Tila that asked him, "Are you Skeletor?" And he was like, "No, I'm not."
No, he said because again the whole thing was like we don't really know who or what he is, so he might be like an alternate Skeletor. So she said when she was like Skeletor, and he said something like, I remember the name.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of ambiguous. Like maybe he is Skeletor or a version of, or whatever the fuck it is. But like, I thought she stabbed him too because I was watching it, and when he got stabbed, I was like, "This bitch,
she gotta go."
Exactly, bro. I said, "This fucking audacity." I was like,
I saw the staff, and I was like, "This bitch." My upper lip started to sweat. And I was like, oh, "Motherfucker."
Bro, and then the fucking camera turns to her gasping. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then Skeletor fucking explains where he's been at, and I'm like, I'm like, this must be my birthday because I get everything I want. Like,
You know what it
I'm looking at.
was? It was the evil alternate version of Thanos doing the snap, and then
Mhm.
and then Tony Stark holding up his
Yes.
hand and being like, "Gotcha, bitch." That's what
Yep.
it was. The
Dog.
evil alternate version of like, because when he grabs the sword, I was like, "Oh, somebody about to get their ass whooped now." You know, he about to fuck somebody up, and then when he gets
Mhm.
stabbed, like you said, I was like, "This fucking bitch." And then
Swear to
when
God,
it was
man, I
him,
thought it.
I'm like, you know what was cold too? Which was one of the most gangster shit. He stabs him and just kicks him off the staff.
Yep.
Yeah,
I loved it. I was like,
pushes
the extradition
that
just
motherfucker off.
bam.
He's just like, get this, like, move this motherfucker off my shit. And I'm sitting here going like, and I'm okay, like real shit. I'm putting my laughing shit aside because y'all know how I feel about Skeletor and shit. But like
Yeah.
the way it was done, there was no music. Everything fucking stopped. All you
It's
heard
like, I
was
got
like,
the.
all you heard was guts being fucking penetrated by whatever the fuck was like being penetrated by staff. You heard the fucking like, and you heard the fucking visual like gasp from everyone, and then the fucking camera pans, and I'm saying camera, but it's literally the shot. The shit pans back and it's Skeletor fucking like, gotcha now, bitch, and I'm just like computing in my head. It just ended so fucking great. I didn't want to just ended right there. I'm like, this is 10 out of fucking. This is 11 out of 10. Fucking greatest shit. Just leave me on this fucking cliffhanger right here. You just have to explain shit else. But it
The
just
bitch
kept
is that
going, and I'm like,
he said
Go
that
ahead.
they had more because, like, I guess when they were writing it, he was talking to the kid that wrote the last episode, and he's like, "Dude, we had actually more after that, but we decided to put it in episode 6." In episode 6, he's like, it just continues exactly from where that moment is, and we pick up from there. And he's like, but by the 10th episode, like there is finality to what they do. Like there are stakes, people die, but then he kind of winks and he's like, but do they ever fucking stay dead?
Mhm.
And to me, I'm like, okay, you guys are 1-1. He stabbed you, you stabbed him. You were a little bit more cold about it, but that's kind of your gimmick.
Yeah.
But now when you have that power and he becomes He-Man, like now you can beat the shit out of each other. And it's not like, because if He-Man punches Skeletor, he'd fucking take his head off.
Oh,
oh
definitely.
yeah,
Right. But now that he has their equal power, it's like, oh, give me all that shit. I don't know if you realize, but Skeletor's head is like floating on green flames. So I'm like, how the fuck could he take a punch? He got no neck. But like,
motherfucker.
I just, and then like, here's the thing: where the fuck is Panther?
Oh my fucking God! Thank you.
Thank you.
Holy shit! Oh my God!
That's the weird part. It's like out of all the characters, it's like, Panther just disappeared out.
Well, if
Just-
he becomes,
my
because I
God.
was when he transformed, I'm like, okay, so if he becomes Skelegod, what does Panther become?
Mm.
I mean, if Cringer becomes Battle Cat, which is like 3 times his size, Panther's got to become some crazy ass. I saw box art of him where he has armor now as well, and he has this like crazy kind of green, like ram skull thing around his head,
Mhm.
and he looks fucking gigantic. But I want to see that. I want to see Battle Cat, Panther, He-Man, Skelegod. Because my man Battle Cat got done dirty in that first episode. He got shot and he just was out.
It's like, and he's
Done.
down. Well,
He
damn.
was fucking like done, down for the count. But I was like, yo, the whole time that was my other gripe. I was like, where the fuck is Panther? Like,
just sitting at home
where,
chilling.
bro? Like, I'm like,
He's at home. He's like, fuck this.
motherfucker
like, this
chilling
is
in
too
Snake
much.
Mountain. Like, yo, you ain't fucking even like, is he alive? Is he dead? And then I'm like, yo, is the motherfucker in heaven getting chased by some fucking getting chased by Gray Skull? I'm like, what kind of bullshit is this? I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
like,
but
I
they
like,
have no
legitimately-
loyalty.
Dude, I'm just sitting there going like, what in the fuck? I'm like, just like any type of appearance, bro. Like you gave me fucking deep cut characters, and I can't get my fucking purple cat. What kind of shit is this? Like,
It's like the character it's like the character that pops up. It's like it's like when you look at the Death of Return of Superman, like the comic, not the animated series that they did.
Mm.
Like Steel was the same way as Panther, because like he's
Mhm.
one of the 4 Superman and he just disappears. You don't even see him for like a good chunk of the fucking comic.
But
I'm
the
like,
problem,
so
but
where
CJ,
did Steel go?
we didn't even get fucking Panther. Not even a fucking mention. Like if I'd have saw Cat Skeleton Bones, I'd have fucking felt sad. But at least I know what happened to my dog.
Yeah.
Although,
Like,
in that intro to the first episode, how cool was that picture of Evelyn laying across Skeletor with like Panther and shit like
dude,
that?
that was so fucking. That was
Mm,
so fucking 80s metal. That was so fucking 80s metal. That shit was like, I'd put that shit on a van if I had it. Like, word. That whole thing was just that opening was badass. So I'd say that. I will say that. One thing I will say, and I think I don't know if we mentioned or gloss over, but I like the fact that Skeletor had a revelation. It was never fucking Grayskull he was after. It was inside what Grayskull had. Grayskull was a
mhm.
fucking ruse. I really fucking like that because to me it never fucking made any sense. And I'm thinking Joe's probably on the same level with me here. Never made any fucking sense on why the hero is protecting such a fucking evil looking place.
Yep.
Like, period. Like, just like why the fuck? Like, even me growing up, I was like, why is like fucking like is he like? I'm thinking that Skeletor's joint. Before I saw you Snake Mountain, but I'm like sitting there going, like, is Skeletor got kicked out of his house? Like, this is young Shag going like, yo, why is he not in his house? Like, what the fuck? What's going? Like, why is this? What is this happening? And then I'm looking at, like, why the fuck did he get kicked off? Now I'm like, that's because it's a fucking ruse. It doesn't like it's just there so
Yep.
people leave it the fuck alone and think it's like evil place. You're gonna fucking die. No, it's nothing like that at all.
Mhm.
It's actually a fucking magical goddamn like palace that once you cut the shit off, it's like made of crystal and looks like some hero shit. You know what I'm saying? So I really liked that so much in this episode.
Yeah, I like
In
that
the not
he's.
episode, but in the season.
Well, it's cool because everybody has a revelation. I mean, Man at Arms has a revelation about what he did as a father. Adam has a revelation about like what it is to be a hero and sacrifice. Tila's probably going to find out about the sorcery, yada yada yada. And like the thing with Grayskull is like it's weird that the hero, his iconography is a skull. Just a
Mhm.
skeleton, his iconography. He stole Snake Mountain from the Snake Men. That's the whole thing. Is like when he was part of banishing them. You know, when the Snake Men got banished, he basically was like, "That's mine," and stole
Yep.
Snake Mountain. That's why when the Snake Men come back, they kick him out, or they're like, "You can work for us now."
Yeah.
But like even in this, I got that sideshow He-Man and Skeletor statue. He has a he's a lot more detailed. Like he has a big old buckle. He's got like a pauldron. He's got a cape,
Mhm.
and on his shoulder pauldron, he has the Grayskull skull. I'll send you guys a picture. It's pretty cool. And then like his boots that he has are like winged sorceress falcons.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like his iconography is like really like it's a skull for him, but it's a fucking snake for him. Like, isn't it kind of maybe a little backwards here? But you're not wrong. I mean, it's just a weird. I like how they basically said like, yeah, we just put that there to scare people.
Just to fuck with people.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like,
It's like a fucking fence. It's just like a big ass fence, like do not cross sign. And then every you go inside, it's fucking candy and cookies and shit. It's you walk in, that bitch is like, yo, you think they fell for it? I bet. Like it fucked me up as a kid, man, because I was like, why the fuck would He-Man come out of that?
yep.
Like I never understood it. Like even as an adult, I was like, I mean, it's metal as fuck, but like I still don't understand why they're fucking defending that piece of shit. But like now I'm like, oh, okay, I do fucking get it. So never mind. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. It helps opened up so much shit to me. So
It's like I feel stupid right now.
exactly. Oh, like, oh, I feel dumb as fuck. I'm like, oh, hey, all right, well.
No, man, like I honestly I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the second part because
Same.
as much as I like the first one, I need to see the whole story. It's exactly how I felt about Infinity War and Endgame. Like I liked Endgame more than Infinity War, but I wanted to see it as a whole. And as a whole, to me, it's better than the parts. That's just my feeling. And I think that this is going to be the same thing. I really enjoy the first 5. I understand people saying there's not enough He-Man, but it's like take a breath, step back, and understand that they're telling a large. It's no different than Lord of the Rings. They made us wait a fucking year in between. That's one big ass story split into 3 parts.
Especially when the first movie ended, you're like, oh man, and then it's like, okay, cool.
Fuck that. The Two Towers is my favorite one. How that
Yep.
ended, I was like, God damn, I gotta wait a year for this shit.
Thank you. It's like,
God damn. So I'm hoping Netflix only makes me wait like 4 months. I'm like, okay, that's 120 days. That's not even that big of a deal.
It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, okay, no problem. But as
that's
a
why
whole,
I feel. That's why I feel that we're gonna probably get us. That's why I feel New York Comic Con we're gonna probably get a trailer.
I hope so. I mean,
yeah, same here, bro. I need it. I need it. I need it.
Or maybe that's, or maybe the special Thanksgiving edition of San Diego Comic Con. You know, they'll probably do it.
Fuck that. Give me a Christmas special.
He-Man Christmas special.
I'll take a Christmas special right now.
Yeah,
like
give me a Christmas special.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll be
imagine.
Man, if they actually have an episode that's Christmas centered, I'd be shocked. Like, oh, all
bro,
right.
like a Christmas special, and I like fucking Prince and Adam being on the fucking tables. Like, bro, what the fuck we gonna do?
This is the price you pay though, because when you were a kid, the animation was so cheap. You got 130 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Now, because the production, I mean, these are like fucking movies. I mean, these episodes are millions of dollars, right? And we get them all at once, and they're so good, but then we have to wait a year. Yeah, because it's the trade-off. It's like, would you lower the production value? No. Or would you wait a year, but it would be as good as, as cinematic as it is? It's just, we're just spoiled now because we should. Julie goes, why don't you just watch one every week? I'm like, what the fuck? Get out of my house.
I mean, look, it's the same thing, like, with the MCU and stuff. I think the best thing that they ever did coming out of Endgame was like, hey, how about we focus on TV shows?
Mm-hmm.
It was the smartest play because now you can actually tell your stories every week and get people invested. Like, whatever you feel about Loki, your ass was tuning in every fucking week to watch it, to see what happens and stuff. I mean, it was the same thing there. People complained about Loki and WandaVision and stuff, and it's like, but you still tuned in every week and watched it. So,
yeah, and with that CG show coming,
what if? Oh, people gonna watch that shit.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a good time to be a fan of all this kind of shit. Like,
yep.
If people don't like fucking Master of the Universe and don't watch it, don't talk about it. Like, I love how that's such a foreign. And when you say that, it's like, what? I can't complain. I'm allowed to complain because I'm passionate. It's like, yeah, but you just look fucking stupid.
There's passionate, and then there's, I could write this better. Are you sure, sir? Are you sure?
It's like, but then why don't you? Well, no one's paying me. Well, so
like, just do it. There are plenty of people that just do their own shit and just do it. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's to the fandom. Sometimes I just get embarrassed. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe
every fandom is crazy too, because I think we have to sit back and realize like every fandom, whether it's wrestling, whether it's He-Man, whether it's Power Rangers, it's that hardcore fan base that think that they know better, and then they're not taking a step back and realizing, nah, man, you really don't know better than the creators, because your fan fiction isn't necessarily going to be great either, and it might not play well to the demographics of people that are going to probably watch it ultimately.
The people that can do it. The people that can't complain on the internet. I've been saying that for years. And if you could do it, you would do it, but you can't. So you just complain on the internet. And if the people that created it are telling you this is how it's going to go from now on, then that's how it's going to go. And you can get off the train. You know what, guys? This is my stop. I'm out. And I hate the whole, like, you ruined my motherfucker. My childhood was 35 years ago. How could you ruin something retroactively that doesn't even exist anymore? Like, it's such a stupid fucking thing to say.
When you say once he gets to that point, I'm like, all right, guys, take a chill pill. Because when he said grow up, a lot of people that had legit criticisms of the show thought that he was attacking them. I'm like, he's not attacking you. He's attacking the folks that sat there and talking about it raped their childhood. It's like, yeah, they got to grow up. It's like, come on, God. Like, what are we doing?
It's like if he makes this, they think that he's breaking into, like, he's like reverse Santa, where he breaks into your house and steals your DVDs. Dude, the entire Master of the Universe original show is on fucking YouTube from Mattel. They released it on YouTube. You can watch all of them. It exists there, at least for now. So it's not like he's taking any. I have the Mike Young DVDs. I watch those fucking things all the time. At least once a year, I'll go through and watch the entire show. he's not taking that away from me. He doesn't take. It's like
It's still there.
he's just adding to it, and if you don't like it, then you know,
Go back to Filmation. Just watch that. Be happy.
exactly.
Go to your happy place.
Bro, I'm still mad. I'm still mad I don't have those fucking things on DVD. It's kicking my ass.
Man,
I'm
it's
like, bro,
like-
I would, because I loved watching that fucking show, man.
It's like trying to find Gotcha Man on DVD. Them shits are fucking hella expensive now.
Dude, I got
They
fucking.
used to
dude, I
be
got
on,
fucking-
let's see.
Go ahead, bro.
Sorry, they used to be on iTunes
Mhm.
because I bought the first season on iTunes in addition to the DVDs.
Yeah.
And the last time I checked, they wiped the Mike Young show from iTunes.
God damn. That's
So-
Yeah,
I think it's one
I
of
don't
those
know.
things where it's like Mattel's like, yeah, that wasn't. Mattel doesn't own that.
yeah.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Like, it's not part of the canon, so they kind of don't really address it anymore. But I don't know, man. I bought that shit when it came out, and I only got the first season on iTunes.
Dude, I had the first fucking half of that, the first season 1, in my fucking hands, just in a fucking bookstore. And I even told Joe, I held it in my hands, dude, and I should have bought it. I never fucking bought it, and I'm kicking myself. And this is coming from a guy who has a fucking copy of Duckman on DVD, the entire fucking series, and yet I can't get my hands on that fucking Master of the Universe. And I'm like, this hurts me. This so much pain. So much pain.
Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon. It says He-Man the Master Universe, a complete series remake, currently unavailable. We don't know when or if this item will ever be back in stock.
Oh,
It's one of those, like, it's kind of like until Disney Plus became a thing, like the Gargoyles DVDs. I got the whole collection. Good luck trying to find that. You know.
Yeah. Okay, I found it. Here you go. Ready?
yeah.
Series 1, $86.99. Series
Of course.
3, $99.99. The Series 3 has an alternate cover with King Grayskull on it, though. Mine doesn't have that, but there you go. For the low price of $300. Oh, sorry, Season 2, $161.62.
Okay, so the He-Man original series is
That-
$37.
Yeah.
$37 for that.
$37?
Yeah,
Yeah.
$37.
Or free on YouTube.
I fucking hate it here.
Well, eBay is $37, so you know, take it for what it is.
I
Same with She-Ra.
I fucking hate it here, man. Holy shit.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's
To this
$200
day,
on
I'm
eBay
kicking
for
myself.
that too. God damn, they are really
Dog.
not kidding.
That
Dang.
Skeletor statue I have from Sideshow goes for like $7,000 right now.
Jesus,
God
man.
damn.
That's a car, man.
Fuck that. I'll keep the statue.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For the amount that people want for it, I was like, that's a fucking car, man. Like, god damn.
No, he sits above my bookshelf with He-Man and guards me because my cat's almost broke him. So
You know what's fucking hilarious?
Yeah.
Though I find it
What's up?
funny. I find it funny with Black Widow coming out. Like, I completely forgot I have like the actual graded first appearance of Taskmaster, and I looked on eBay and it's like, oh, this shit's going for like $500. Like, god damn.
Dude.
I didn't even pay. I didn't even pay
attention.
attention to it. I didn't even pay attention. I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot. I still got that."
Bro, I got fucking Miss Marvel issue 1, Kamala Khan issue 1, and I'm trying my damnedest not to fucking sell it. Like as soon as the fucking Miss Marvel show drops.
I mean, same with Riri
Like,
Williams.
it's a-
I was already reading Invincible Iron Man, so I had the issue already. And then when I saw people were selling them shits for uber money, I was like, "I'm fine. I'm good." I'm not
Dog,
gonna
it's like to this day I'm like low key. I'm not a major comic collector, but I have my comics, and I'm like, oh shit, my comics are worth money, like real money. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna sell. I wouldn't sell them unless they're like books I don't want.
Yeah, that's
So-
the thing. It's like I'm still keeping them. It's just a collector's thing for me. I'm not going to sell them shits at all. Like, nah. I'm
Nah,
keeping them.
certain ones I'd be like, yo, I would sell this because I'm not like I didn't fucking enjoy it when I bought it. I bought it at the time thinking I would. I'm like, it's not all that great, so I can fucking get rid of them. But like some of them other ones, man, hell no. But yeah, I need this second fucking half to hurry the fuck up and come out so I can be like, all right, leave me alone.
we'll have to do this again when the second half comes out.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing
Of
it
course.
again. Definitely doing it again.
Of course.
So
Of course.
with that in mind, thank you guys for joining in on this. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be back for the second half of it and stuff. Trying to think. Yeah, definitely for second half. At any rate, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.
All right, guys.